Jawn Street Films, episode 20. We are here coming fresh off of the biggest weekend in movie theaters since 2019, I would say.
It has literally been 4 years.
Yeah, it has been 4 years, and movie theaters couldn't be any more back than they are right now.
Yeah, I have really been enjoying the whole Barbenheimer thing, and I'm admittedly going to be a little bit sad when it all dies down. Because I haven't seen movie theaters this packed, and I mean, definitely not since COVID hit.
Now, last
So,
time I think the theater's been this packed has been since like Avengers Endgame.
yeah, how many either people decked out in pink or people dressed like Jack Nicholson in Chinatown going to the theaters, no in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went when I went to see it in the German Fedora.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's beautiful. Dude, my theater was packed on a Monday morning at like 10:45.
everybody get after getting that the early bird special, go off to get some existential crisis.
Yeah.
All the old folks.
Oh yeah,
How did they?
it
I
was
know you mentioned that it was a lot of old folks in your theater. How did they handle? What were their what was their body language like after the credits rolled, after the haunting ending? Were they like, "Oh, that was a pleasant time," or were they like,
they kind of just like
"We're gonna die"?
no, they kind of just like
Must
walked
be
out
really
like
loud.
they kind of walked out stunned. They walked out just like, yeah, wow, that was good.
I'm gonna go enlist and fight alongside Ukraine.
I like walked out and like my eye was twitching.
Yeah. Um, I walked out trying to embody the facial muscles and facial expressions of Cillian Murphy. I walked out trying to be like Tommy Shelby at the end of season 5 of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
I just walked out and I talked to one of the ushers for like 2 minutes. This is not even about the movie, but I was talking in a subtle Irish Cillian Murphy accent.
Were you?
Yeah, I was talking to him about. So I went to go see it in movie tavern in Exton. They
Hmm.
didn't have where you go get your food. They didn't have popcorn at the concessions. They did have popcorn. You just couldn't get it at the concessions. You had to order it, and they would bring it to your seat. So
No.
they had a bunch of different options. So you had to go on the website. You had to select your state. You had to select what movie you were watching and at what time. So I was talking to this guy, and before all, the conversation I had with the guy wasn't remarkable. What happened when I ordered my popcorn was remarkable because I ordered it to the wrong theater in the wrong state.
Okay.
So 10, it was like 10.98, um, I think $12 with taxes. So I ordered it to some theater. I think it was in Missouri. Because I looked afterwards because my popcorn hadn't showed up on time. So I ordered someone in Missouri a large bucket of popcorn who was also seeing Oppenheimer. And if that person is out there, I would very much like to get in contact with you and perhaps get your Venmo. But
Because you owe me $12.
yeah, so I spent more money on the popcorn than I spent on the movie. I had to get another one because I couldn't go through a 3 hour movie without a large bucket of popcorn. And I'm actually very proud of myself. I usually never finish the popcorn, but I had a very unhealthy regiment when I was in there. I snuck in a little bottle of vodka, a little bottle of water, and the popcorn when it did arrive. Not the Missouri popcorn, the Pennsylvania popcorn.
Mm.
So I'd take a little swig of vodka, wait like 5 minutes, take a little swig of water, wait like 5 minutes, and then I'd say, "Ooh, I'm a little bit hungry," and I would start eating popcorn. I say, "Oh, I'm a little bit full, but I'm thirsty." So I take a swig of vodka, take a swig of water. I'm rather a bit hungry right now,
And the guy next to
and
you
it
is like,
was just that
"Shut the
process.
fuck up."
Yeah, I was doing all of this while talking out loud. So yeah, the alcohol makes you hungry,
Yeah.
and um, when you eat, you want to wash it down with something. So it was an unhealthy, albeit very efficient process.
Okay.
Much more efficient than me ordering popcorn to the right movie theater. This is the second time I've ordered food to the. I've never ordered food to the wrong state before, but in 2017, um, I went to go like I got dragged to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I ordered chicken tenders to the theater next to us. So this is not a new thing for me, but I got it. Um, and then I proceeded to get blown away by Oppenheimer, quite literally.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
there's a little side, your first rabbit hole, but it was a rabbit hole I was intending to go down. So
I
I
didn't
guess
even.
this is our first planned. This is the Trinity test rabbit hole.
Yeah, I didn't finish my popcorn.
What did you get a large?
Yeah,
How far down did you get?
dude,
Usually I get
I got
about
2/3 of the way done, and I was about. mm, oh God, I want to say just after like the final like pre-test measurement for the atomic bomb test, and then
and
like
so you had like an hour and a half after with no popcorn.
yeah,
That's rough.
well because I went like my hand just slowly started like leaving the bucket and just like kind of just slowly falling to like both hands just like on my lap as I just sat there with like jaw agape, just like, oh shit, like is this I was like too stunned to eat popcorn.
What row were you in? Were you in
I
one of
was
the
in the
front
second
rows?
to last. I was in the second to last row.
Because I know Dean was in the front row.
Oh,
At
he
least I think he was in the front row. He could have taken. He
literally looked. He
in the
walked.
group chat of Killian Murphy with the gigantic lower jaw
Yeah.
because there's so many close-ups of faces in that film.
Oh, he. I guarantee you, he
I
left.
couldn't even
He left
imagine
that
being in the front
movie.
row.
He left that movie looking like Christopher Nolan's daughter in the
Oh
scene
yeah,
of the schoolhouse.
poor Flora Nolan.
Yeah.
She's always in her father's post-apocalyptic films. She was in Interstellar too
Yeah.
in one scene.
But yeah.
But
So, uh, before we just keep talking about this movie and everything around it, let's talk about some other things first.
okay,
Let's talk about one. We'll talk about can we even talk about this stuff because of the current strike? Probably, but I'm at the point now where I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep talking.
we have First Amendment rights, and also we're bad boys, and we don't care.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about this stuff because I like this stuff. But I'm going to take a firm stance and say, uh, fuck the studios and full ride with the actors and the writers. But strong but when a movie comes out, I'm gonna talk about it.
We call that a Tom Cruise from Valkyrie butt, a
Yeah.
strong butt.
Yes. We're gonna talk about a movie that came out. And I'm not gonna not talk about it because of a strike.
Yeah, Bob Iger, I bet I could beat you in a fucking basketball game one-on-one. So you don't intimidate me at all.
Yeah.
I'd cross your ass up, Bob.
How about when Bob Iger didn't understand the T lizard meme?
Well, yeah, because he's very much like Mark Zuckerberg, I feel like, and that he's a reptile under the skin of a human being. So I think he does understand it, but I think
No, he
he's
doesn't.
trying to play it off.
So back in the day, when the T Lizard meme started, so the Lights Camera Barstool movie podcast host Jeff D'Lo was running the Good Morning America Twitter, and he tweeted out the memes of like crying Jordan, smocking, the Kermit sipping the tea, and something else, and oh, it was like a LeBron something, and it was like, does this LeBron meme fall under like with elite memes such as crying Jordan, smocking, and T Lizard?
What is smocking?
Uh, it's the Jim Carrey as the mask, but instead of smoking, it says smocking.
Oh, okay. I'm very aware of the smoking meme.
No, but it's
I didn't know
smocking,
it was ever turned into smocking.
smocking, yeah.
Okay.
But but he
I feel
called
like
it, but
out
instead
of
of
touch right now.
Kermit sipping tea, he's like he called it the T Lizard, and that's just because a bunch of Reddit people called it T Lizard. And
Yeah,
so,
that's you can't go near Reddit or
and
Twitter
so
for more than 30 minutes at a time or you will die from radiation
well,
poisoning.
when he tweeted that, all these people started like like is the all these people were like, did the Good Morning America account just call Kermit the Frog a lizard? And the guy and like two of his bosses was the guy directly under Bob Iger, and it like got to his table, and it was like all this thing was like they made him get rid of it and all that shit because they were too afraid of Bob Iger slamming his iron fist down because they called Kermit the Frog a lizard.
I
But
think they were too afraid that Bob Iger was going to show his true reptilian form.
and become the real T lizard,
Yeah.
probably
Him, Zuckerberg, and Tesla guy.
X
Fuck is his name?
Elon
Right, Elon Muskie boy.
Elon Muskie boy, who's now rebranding Twitter into something with an X.
Isn't it Threads?
No, X.
What is Threads? I'm
Instagram.
hearing about
It,
Threads.
Threads is Instagram's Twitter.
I thought Instagram was Instagram's Twitter.
Yes. So Instagram is Instagram, but they made a Twitter app, which is literally the exact same thing as Twitter, but you use your Instagram account and it just connects your account. So you don't have to create a new.
Sounds
You just log in.
incredibly counterproductive and
It's
not good.
basically it's Instagram's version of Twitter.
This is like when Watch Mojo had that came out that second channel called Miss Mojo, where they dedicated it to coming out with content for women,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was outraged, saying, "Why don't you just put it on the regular Watch Mojo channel?"
Yeah. Why don't you just make
But
like
this has become a staple of mainstream everything. Billionaire companies coming out with useless shit that we don't need.
yeah, because like if you were on Instagram,
If there's one thing we need, it's another Twitter.
yeah, because like if
Fuck.
you were on Instagram and you wanted to use Twitter, you would just use Twitter. But the problem was
Yeah. If I wanted to use Twitter, I wouldn't even use Twitter because I don't want to have a goddamn hemorrhage today.
the reason
I
that they
used Twitter for about a week.
the
I
reason
couldn't
he
do
did
it.
that was because if you're not subscribed to Twitter Plus to like the verified Twitter or whatever it is, then you can only see like at the time it was like only 600 new tweets a day, and so
Oh,
people
only 600 new tweets a day.
yeah, but like
I
that
wouldn't even get to 20.
but that's considered a tweet. Like that's a reply. That's like the news feeds. Like that's reading replies and stuff. Those are all considered new tweets. So you would be able to do
Uh,
maybe like 20 minutes into the app, and you wouldn't be able to use it all day.
oh God, help me. I can't view my Twitter content.
Uh,
Wherever will my brain rot go to now? Reddit probably. Reddit's coming out with no wait, that's BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed might be worse than Reddit.
no,
Yeah, BuzzFeed's also coming out with a movie.
about.
It's a horror movie
Oh,
about something that was popular for like a week 6 years ago. I don't have the fine details. Something like Dear David, maybe something like that. I don't know what it's about. I was never big into it, but when BuzzFeed announces they're making a movie, I build a bomb shelter until the fallout dissipates.
hmm. I have
Let me
no
keep going
idea.
with these.
New. Oh. the BuzzFeed horror movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
what's it called?
is it called Dear David?
Yeah, Dear David. I got it right. Good for me.
Yeah.
I'm up to date on my fucking
A
BuzzFeed news.
man. Okay, let me read you the synopsis of this movie. A
Yeah,
man
good.
is haunted by the ghost of a boy named David, who is trying to kill him.
That's this. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, does it say anywhere in there based on a true story? Which
No.
is complete. It well, if you, I did watch the trailer. It said based
What's
on a
that?
true
Justin
story.
Long.
Justin Law is not in that.
Really top cast, Justin Long.
Does he have a name?
Bryce.
No. Then I watched the trailer. I didn't even know Justin Long was in it. Damn. BuzzFeed really fucking held my attention with this one.
Oh, it's got the girl from what's that? Kim's Convenience.
I don't know what you're saying.
The okay, you ever seen that show, Kim's Convenience?
No. Oh
Okay.
wait, is that the Asian show that you like with the convenience store?
Yes.
Yeah.
The daughter is in this movie.
Oh, that's not something you want on your IMDb page. You don't want to be a part of BuzzFeed Studios productions.
No. I
Come
mean,
on.
like,
You
just
got it.
based off the trailer, like the shots, it looks visually, it looks good. The
It looks
shots
competently made.
the
It's a
shots are
horror movie
yeah, the shots are crisp.
or a horror
The
movie. It's
editing
not going to be
is
scary.
clean. The graphics are clean. The story looks like it stinks, and the premise of this being a Twitter horror movie basically stinks. But at least the shots look clean.
Oh, you know what other shots looked clean in the Slender Man trailer? That
Mm.
movie was a big old bag of ball sacks, though.
The
And
dark
I'm expecting,
truth.
you know what, if this movie isn't horribly received, I will, um, I'll swallow this golf ball.
This looks
I'll do
so
it live. I'll swallow this Max Fly golf ball.
well. Max Fly's gonna hurt too. Okay,
Yeah, we're coming
how
out too.
long is this fucking
Look at,
trailer?
I,
Okay,
I
what
couldn't
was
tell
that?
you.
That was horrifying. That was terrible to look at. The
Okay,
last
so it's delivering on the horror. That's good.
no, the last 35 seconds of the trailer was like not like a good horror, like, oh, that's terrifying, like the trailer for the new Exorcist movie. This was the trailer of like, what the fuck did I just see? Because that was just disgustingly terrible to look at.
In a good way.
No.
So my guess is they used up all the good shots that they had in the movie for the first half of the trailer, and they were stuck with the other 99% of the movie, which is garbage. They had to throw something in there. I
Yes.
can't imagine what the rest of the movie looks like. Can't wait.
The movie probably looks visually appealing and pleasing
No, it doesn't.
for the first act of the movie where it's like nothing's happening yet, and then the shit starts to happen, then it looks terrible.
I'm sure we could make a more visually appealing horror movie with $0. We've
Probably.
already done it twice.
Yeah.
We're only getting better.
We're only getting better.
Yeah. Reshoots to come for one scene in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I also need to get a shot of a bird through a scope.
Mm-hmm.
We're not shooting the bird though. It's
No,
binoculars.
just like a binocular scope.
Yeah. For our loyal fans, we're gonna release a Batman film just for you guys.
We are. It's all stemming.
Looking good so far.
It's so good.
It is really looking good.
I'm really really pleased about it. Like it really makes me happy that this thing looks this good.
Yeah.
When we
We
waited
got some we
the
got some nice cameos too
we
from the
waited
Patton
until the
family.
last minute on each day to shoot these.
See, it's not necessarily because of procrastination, it's because
Scheduling.
when you're put up against a deadline, that breeds work ethic. So
Oh yeah.
that's why I procrastinate.
There's
That's
no
why I procrastinated through high school and college because I knew if I was put up against a wall, I would give it my best.
Hmm.
If I worked on something a week prior, I wouldn't be as dedicated to my craft.
Oh yeah, because I find that now, like when you're like, oh, you know what? I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what?
Where you're like, oh fuck, I
It
need to shoot
leaves
this
you,
entire short film and at least have the scenes uploaded in 5 hours.
yeah. It's just it's why I encourage procrastination across all fields because it gives you more time to do the things that you want to do in
It's
the
also
time that you should probably be doing the work that's assigned. You can do what you can play video games, watch movies, go out play backyard baseball. You can do whatever you want, and then that last day comes, and your back's against the wall, and you're forced to put the work in, and you don't have any other choice. So your brain is naturally wired as a human being to be lazy until you're forced not to be.
yeah, and you know what? When you do procrastinate to the last minute, uh, that last day, that's not a fun day. It's not a fun day or a fun time at all. But that high you get once you finally finish and you submit everything and you maybe have like 20 minutes left before the deadline, you'll never feel that high anywhere else. Drugs can't get you that high.
Hmm. I've never been more satisfied than turning in a 10-page paper at 11:47 p.m. on a 12 a.m. due date and getting it back and getting a B minus on it.
Yeah.
Best feeling ever.
Oh
You
yeah.
think I want to work on that thing for 2 weeks straight, a little bit at a time and get an A plus? No. The exciting part comes from waiting to see what your grade's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And another, but when when doing it in film, if I want to put forth an Academy Award um, worthy performance, then I have to do it on the last day. I know I don't have any other options. I'm going to give you an Academy Award worthy performance because I don't have any other choices. My back's against the wall.
Yeah.
I'm like a rat. I'm like a cornered rat.
Dude,
But this rat is the rat that trained the Ninja Turtles.
I used to do that with like summer readings
Yeah.
where it was like where we're like reading like chapters for like school, like then like for homework. I would make sure that reading part was the very last thing I did, like before I went to bed, because there's like the feeling of reading and straining your eyes at like 1 a.m. to finish your last chapter. You could feel your eyes start to itch and start to tingle. You could feel like your bones and your fingers start to cramp up and just you just need to like start stretching out. Like you're getting to that part of the reading just to where you know that you read that last word. You could just close the book and just pass out. You're already sitting in bed. There was no pussyfooting around after that. Once you hit that last word, lights were off and I'm asleep.
Yeah, that's another word. That's a word that I really would like to figure out how to get more use out of in the mainstream is pussyfooting. I'm a big fan of the word pussyfooting. I have that in the Dean and Snowden diss track. I have a pussyfooting line.
Ooh,
It mirrors off of an old Eminem quote. I don't know if I can say the C word on here, but
what do you mean,
um
cunt?
yes, the word cunt.
Yeah, you can.
So I'm going to say it very slowly and separated from the other words in the sentence so that if we have to, we can bleep it out easily. In this one Eminem song, he says it, um, kick a bitch in the cunt, call it a fucking whoopee cushion or something.
Yeah.
And then it said, referring to Dean and Snowden, I'm gonna kick you pussies in the cunt, call that pussyfooting.
Ooh. Ooh.
So
Ooh.
there's a little,
Ooh.
yeah, there's a little preview from the diss track that's gonna show up in like 6 fucking months
Fuck yeah. Who
because
cares?
I cannot figure out how to competently. I'm not a producer. I don't know how to put beats together. I'm not a beatologist, as it were, unless you're talking about, you know, cranking one out. Then yeah, then I got a PhD in beatology. But back on the subject at hand, what was it? Procrastination.
Yeah. And the
I'm a
high
big advocate. I'm an advocate for procrastination. And throughout that whole conversation, I could just feel my mom slapping me on the back of the head, saying, "If you just if you just worked a little bit every day, you wouldn't be this stressed out." Yeah, but then I wouldn't be the man I am today,
hmm
for better or for worse. I can get things done at the deadline. Granted, I didn't do any work before the deadline. I do my best work at the deadline.
hmm I was told in this class that we had to do this short film for, you can't just do it all on the last day. Well, let me fucking tell you what I did. I waited till the last day of each assignment.
Well, we also, the location didn't open up until that last day.
True.
So that's part of it.
True.
And
Also,
also,
scheduling
I mean,
couldn't get everybody there to film at the same time until it said last day.
there were scheduling issues. We needed to make sure that there was uh, lunch and food for all staff and crew there. Thank you, Mr. Patton, for all the meat. Tasted very delicious. Thank you to Uncle Patton.
Nope.
No, it's your mom's side.
Yep.
Okay. To sorry, what are the names? I don't
To
remember.
Rick. Thank you to Rick for the roof.
Rick. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Rick, for letting us use your house and letting me run around like dressed like Batman, like a moron for 6 hours. Really do appreciate it.
Yep.
Um, but I feel like most of the procrastination stuff I'm referring to it's mostly about like schoolwork and doing shit you don't want to do. Um, when it comes to like filmmaking, I think it's too fun to like you don't want to push it off, but we didn't really have a choice because we needed that location and it was only open for one day, and that happened to be the day right before the deadline.
No, it was the day of the deadline.
Yeah, and but I mean, technically, with 12 o'clock, that's technically a new day, right?
11:59.
Oh, I love when professors do that. It really puts a hole in my agenda when I want to get things done. When I want to get that 11:59 submission in,
Mm-hmm.
it brings me back to Dante's Inferno video, me losing an entire letter grade based on the time of the class. But we've already been through that.
Yeah.
In the words of every Sigma male in the world, it is what it is,
Mm.
even though I'm dying inside.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Maybe I'm Knuff.
what do you got? What do you got on your list you want to talk about before we get into the big part of the show?
Well, I have the Napoleon trailer and the writer's strike stuff, and the Woman in Black investigative journalism. So you take your pick. Which one we want to tackle first?
Well, let's start with the strike. Let's get the
The
strike out of the way.
strike. Yeah. So we're about a week late on this because of Minecraft Realms.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yep.
If you know what
If
we're
you know,
talking about,
if you
then
know, you know.
you understand. If you don't, we're not going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, the writers have been on strike from the major studios due to poor wages. And the SAG-AFTRA strike over demands for increased base pay. They're in. I think I saw the average pay of writers like $68,000 or something,
Mm-hmm.
which is absurd, especially when you consider you got all these studios like flaunting how well they're doing, how much the billions of dollars that they're raking in annually, and yet
And the people writing
apparently they're
is
not raking in enough to pay the people who come up with their stories. So
yeah, they're making just a regular
hypocritical,
9 to 5 wage.
perhaps. Yeah, so we got demands for increased base pay and assurances that their fucking work won't be replaced by artificial intelligence. which is ironically something that feels like was written. It feels like an AI written script, does it not?
It does.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think like this is some like Terminator 2 Judgment Day type of Skynet like subplot.
Hmm.
I never thought I would read a headline that workers have to strike because AI might be taking their jobs. There's only one way this ends if AI does end up taking over, and it is the end of humanity as we know it.
Hmm.
And it fits in with the Oppenheimer themes very well.
It does.
What do you got on the strike?
Um, I think. Well, look, I I support the strike. I don't want the strike to continue. I
Oh, I mean,
I want this to
that's
be
pretty
over.
much how every. So
I
do the writers
Yep, I
and
want
the
all this
actors.
stuff to be over. I want these suits to kick rocks and just suck it up and pay the people that's making them rich. Just give them enough to live because the people making writing these stories and shows for these movies and stuff like that, only making the same amount of money that um like
I
like
don't
a,
know.
like
I
a
know. I
year
think
like a
Dean. I
fourth
think
year
Dean
like
makes more than a Hollywood writer
yeah,
on a yearly basis.
exactly. A writer for making these blockbuster movies is not making as much as like a UPS driver is crazy.
I mean, feel the
But I
like
know
the
what's
wind
gonna
being
happen is
sucked out of my
they're gonna
sails and the
the
air
whole
being sucked
you
out of
know
my
what some of
lungs.
these comments are gonna say. Oh well, you're telling me Matt Damon can't afford to live. Those kinds of actors and they're not the ones we're talking about.
Well, no, you need actors like that, like Bryan Cranston's of the world, and all these acclaimed like A1 actors. You need them out there
Yeah,
striking as well. You need star power in film. You need star power in the strikes to
agreed.
get your
But,
point across.
but the
So
people who making the points of oh you're saying like Robert De Niro and Matt Damon like they can't Tom Cruise can't afford to they can't afford to live. That's not who the
who's
strike is
saying that?
for. The strike is for the people you'll see on like the random like TV shows that have like a couple lines or like the third star of How I Met Your Father, like that spinoff, like those kind of
Talking
act.
about our David Delsmachians.
Yeah, maybe less than him.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely less than him.
but like
Let's think of who's the ideal like strike actor?
Ted Mosby.
Ted Mosby. Is that
Fuck's his name?
Mr. Mosby from The Sweet Life?
No, no, the guy who plays Ted Mosby in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I don't know what he's doing now,
I don't know what
but
he's doing now, but that's the kind
I'm sure he's well off on his mother money.
of um
Dane DeHaan, maybe.
um the the cafe owner in that Two Broke Girls or whatever that show fucking
Yeah,
stupid ass show was.
Cat something. I don't know.
Yeah, but the owner of the cafe, the Chinese guy who's in every episode, who had a good amount of screen time, he's the one that's like can't afford rent in New York.
Well, no one can afford rent in New York, to be fair.
Yeah, but those are the people.
Don't live in a fucking 1 by 1 foot apartment for $100,000 a month.
Yeah,
But
no, it's the
the
C's,
thing,
E's, E's, F level celebrities, writers, actors. They're the guys that this strike is really for.
yeah, and obviously nobody wants the strikes to happen because nobody wants these projects to be halted, especially after the pandemic we just went through. We just saw thousands and thousands of projects halted and moved years into the future.
Hmm.
And I mean, that was at least that was understandable.
Yeah,
That was a worldwide event. This is just straight up greed taking center stage
and there's money hungry.
by studios that can afford to pay their writers, mind you, and their actors.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you heard about A24, the um, one of the best studios out there,
Hmm.
in my many people's opinion. A24, small independent film company which makes low budget films, has already signed interim agreements with the actors and writers on strike.
Yep.
That means the employers have agreed to all the terms actors and writers are making of big Hollywood studios.
Yep.
If indies can afford it, why can't billionaires? That is from Cruise Stories Instagram. I got that from Merc with the Movies
Yep.
Instagram page. So if you needed any more evidence as to the big bad evil billionaire corporations just literally being like unironically Disney villains, like Disney has itself become like its own
Disney.
villain entity at this point.
Yeah.
Like there you go.
Disney.
A24 is the shining beacon of light that we all need to follow.
Yeah. And
I've
the
been
movie
following it since
and the movie that's
2015.
going to come out from them to really pave the way is The Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw.
Yeah, have you seen anything about this?
Hold on a minute.
Like a ragtag group of like rednecks. It's like Jeremy Allen White, Zac Efron.
Oh yeah, I did see an update. Harris Dickinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, did I miss like a new updated season of Letterkenny or something?
No.
What
Yeah.
is this?
Yeah. Iron Claw. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
I'm
looks
like, is Zac Efron actually going to be in a good movie?
like he might. He
I mean,
might.
it's Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
If you've seen The
Shameless.
Bear,
There.
then you you know this man can seemingly do no wrong right now.
No.
I am very curious to see if Zac Efron can finally be in a good movie
He has.
that
He actually has
yeah,
been.
I know he's been in good movies, but I mean, he has this reputation, kind of like The Rock, of not necessarily being in particularly good movies. Let's see. There
You
was that
put them together.
The
You want to put
Greatest
him
Showman, which I don't think was that good.
was probably his best movie, but you want to put him together with The Rock in Baywatch?
Baywatch is Baywatch is kind of up there with Moonfall as one of my favorite bad movies. I don't
Uh,
have anything against Baywatch. Baywatch is fine.
his performance was good and extremely wicked, but the whole thing wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like the whole Ted Bundy is a sexy fucking man,
No,
but
but I do.
17 again is pretty good.
Yeah, and then Neighbors,
I mean,
which
obviously High School Musical,
yep.
which made like $17 trillion. What is
Um,
Kenny Ortega doing right now? Director of High School Musical. What
I
he
don't.
I know he doesn't have to work anymore.
No, he
I wonder if
doesn't.
he has
He made three of them, and that was it.
yeah.
Let's see, Kenny Ortega. Actually, here's his thing. I forgot he's made more than just the High School Musicals, and it's gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
Director. So let's start. Let's go back to the High School Musical where it all started. Director. What year did High School Musical come out?
I go six, I think. 2006 is I
2006.
remember
So
2006
before
very well.
2006, he did the Cheetah Girls 2 in 2005.
Yeah, that's the same. That doesn't count. That's
Okay.
basically High School
He
Musical.
did then he did 12 episodes of Gilmore Girls in 2006. And then he did High
Go
School
get him,
Musical
Kenny.
2. Then he did High School Musical 3. He did in 2009, he did Michael Jackson's This Is It.
Man has a knack for the music industry,
He did
obviously.
2015's The Descendants,
That is
and then he did The Descendants 2, then he did The Descendants 3.
an awful lot of Descendants.
Yep, they have three of them. And he also did the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Let's do the time warp again. And then he did a music video for. He directed a music video for Car Sentence.
Jesus Christ. Kenny, let the Descendants go. It's okay.
Yep. And then he did 5 episodes of a TV show in 2020 called Julie and the Phantoms. That was
Julie
about
and the
it.
Phantoms.
That was about it.
Well,
He has 3 primetime Emmys, 14 wins, and 15 total nominations.
Jesus Christ.
He has a nominee and
That was all for like High School Musical.
he has the 2008 nominee for Outstanding Choreography in High School Musical 2, Outstanding Choreography 1 in
Understandable.
2006 for High School Musical. He
They were
won.
choreographed very well.
Yep, he won the choreography in High School Musical 1. He only was nominated for directing for a miniseries, movie, or dramatic special in 2006. He won Outstanding Choreography in 2002 for the Winter Olympics opening ceremony.
Jesus Christ, Kenny.
He won Outstanding Directing Variety Music or Comedy Program, the 2002 Winter Olympics opening ceremony. And then he was nominated for the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics for Outstanding Variety of Music.
So this dude's just been flying under the radar
Big time music
for
guy.
the Olympics.
2001 nominee for Outstanding Choreography for Grounded for Life for an episode. And then Hull High, which was another, can't tell if it was a show or if it was a movie. He won a 1991 nominee for Outstanding Achievement in the main title theme music. But yes, Kenny Ortega went under the radar, getting 3 nominations and 2 primetime Emmys, all for the 2002 Winter Olympics opening ceremony.
Can we close this episode with the 2002 Winter Olympics opening ceremony music?
Oh, absolutely.
I think we kind of have to do that at this point.
Yeah.
I don't even know I don't even know how we got here, but something about Zac Efron and we ended up in Kenny Ortega.
Yeah, you wanted to know what he was doing.
Well, the man the man's more accomplished than Scorsese. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Yeah. 2002 uh opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, Utah. I have
Oh
it. I
yes.
will add the song or whatever, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we'll call it the theme, I guess.
We'll call it the theme, and we'll add it either depending on how I feel if we end it at the end or put it before uh the review because God knows how long that will be.
Yeah.
But it will be in the show. You will hear it.
Yeah, I feel like that would be very fitting. Still a lot of stuff to get to.
We do.
Um, hasn't even been an hour yet.
No, it feels like it,
It does feel like it. So it's been slow. It's been a bit of a slower paced episode, but
which is good
I
because
feel like we've gotten
we
to
just went through
we've
3 hours
gotten to our topics
dense,
so far, which is good.
dense edge of your seat mind fucking.
Yeah, I guess I'm just waiting for like the wheels to go off the rails and to see where we end up. But so far it's been pretty on the rails, except for the whole Kenny Ortega rabbit hole, which I was not expecting it to go down today, but not necessarily mad at it.
No, God no. We
And
know
now we're
Ortega
gonna have
might
a
be the
banger.
greatest.
We're gonna have
Kenny
some
Ortega
banger
might
music
just
in this
be.
episode.
Would you put him up in the running with Lin-Manuel Miranda as like the movie music guy?
I mean, did you see all those nominations for Olympic ceremonies? It's like all of them. I didn't even know. This is probably on me for not really watching the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics or any Olympics since like 2008. Are the Olympics still popular?
I don't know.
I haven't
They're not as
really
popular
been
as they
keeping up to
used to
date. I know I don't usually like pull for the US. I usually pick like a third world country that has no shot and I root for them
be. Hmm.
because I'm one for the underdog story.
Hmm.
But I have no idea how the last Olympics shook out. Wasn't that last year? It was the Winter Olympics, 2021.
Yeah, either last year or the year before.
And I know it was Winter Olympics because I watched bobsledding at your house for like 4 hours,
Yeah,
but I don't remember.
I don't remember if it was last
I don't
year.
remember who won.
I
No,
don't
it
remember
was
either.
not. It was not last year being might have been was it it was 2021? I think it might have been like 2022 January because it was before I moved into this place.
Yeah,
So January 2022 sounds about right.
interesting. But I want to know, how do you get? I've always wanted to know, how does one become like a Winter Olympic like curler? Like, where do you have to go? Where do they have hold trials? Because I know they're not called matches. Like, where do you hold these trial runs? Like, how do you become an Olympian?
An Olympic curler.
Yeah, like, do I just have to put videos on Instagram to prove that I can do it?
No, you need to like work as a janitor or something
Like,
for a
how am I
long
gonna?
time. You'd
Hmm.
be really good at sweeping.
Oh, I can sweep.
Okay, that's a start. You need to be, although, um,
I have a feathery touch.
that's
I have a feathery touch when I'm playing shuffleboard too.
yeah, shuffleboard. That's the sport I was thinking of. Um, I don't know how you like figure out that you're a good curling stone letter go of the stone.
Yeah,
What's the, what's the title for that?
the third
The
part.
You're not throwing it though. You're literally just letting it go. The letter go of the stone is what I'm gonna call it. Harry Potter and the letter go of the stone.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna call this episode probably.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
But I don't know where I don't know what point in life you realize that you're good enough at this activity, this action, and realize, yeah, I can make an Olympic career out of this.
You're like, I can be the
I don't know
greatest,
how many
like
stones
the
you have to
best
let
in
go
the
of in
world.
order to realize you're good at this. You
I
can
can,
release it at the perfect trajectory, the perfect time, the perfect speed.
and I'm the
It's
best in the world at it, and I can just go like this and just let it.
you know what, I could see pool being, if you're good at pool, I think you could be good at curling. Because it's kind of the same concept, right?
No,
You're hitting stones at an angle.
no, but that's not me. Like, if
Geometry is
I
a
am,
massive part of
I'm,
both
I'm
sports.
throwing it. You would be the one who's like who's cleaning the ice more on the left, so it could spin more to go right.
So if you're, well, they all have to rotate, don't they? They all have to be like jack of all trades. They all have to be like the Shohei Ohtani of the show. They all
Yeah.
have to bat both sides.
Yes.
So I mean, I guess you have to be a switch hitter.
But no, because there's that one redhead with the long hair, for America who is just a thrower. I think.
So do they rotate or do they not rotate?
I think if you can rotate, you can.
So you have, all right, so you have your relief pitchers who specialize in just doing the throwing,
Yeah.
the releasing of the stone,
Yeah, but then you have
Harry Potter.
your starting pitcher who can like play like a couple innings in the field towards the end of the game.
Yeah, that's more of like high school stuff.
Mhm.
You don't get a whole lot of I don't think you get any pitchers who go out and play the field in the majors. I don't, except that one guy. Was he on the Athletics? I don't remember what team
Because
he played
Velasquez
for.
made that
He was
diving.
a he was a relief pitcher and he raked for like 2 weeks. He would bat and he would come in relief pitch. I can't remember his name. He was Jack though.
Remember Vinny Velo making that diving play out in left field?
Yeah, Vinny Velo comes to mind. then he got hit on the arm and to throw his left hand.
Hmm.
But rabbit hole alert before we go too far down. But we have found a potential title for the episode, which is cool. Harry Potter and the Releasing of the Stone, a curling story starring that guy from Peanut Butter Falcon.
um, fuck,
What's his name?
Max. Is it?
Ah, Shia LaBeouf. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
his name is Axe.
No, I thought it was
Kid.
no. Yeah, the kid. Isn't his name? Wasn't his name Max?
I thought his name was Peanut Butter Falcon.
No, that was his wrestling name.
Oh,
His wrestling name was the Peanut Butter Falcon.
he was a wrestler. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
that
I'm
was
gonna
his
admit,
whole
I've
thing.
never seen Peanut Butter Falcon.
You've
He
never
just
seen it?
talks about it a lot.
Oh, Peanut Butter Falcon's
I've
good.
never seen it.
It's a little
I've
boy.
heard it's very good.
It's a boy with Down syndrome who wants to go
I
to the
know.
who wants to go
I
to
know the sheen with the shotgun where he shoots it and
yeah.
he falls back on the train tracks.
Well, he wants to go to this wrestling camp. So he breaks out of with the help of his old caretaking, like his old roommate, his old man. He breaks out of this caretaking home and he runs into Shia LaBeouf's character, who says he would take him down to this wrestling camp. So they finally get to the wrestling camp and they don't have a name for his guy, for his character. So he calls himself the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Cut this
That's
next
only
part.
and that's only because it's all they had to eat was peanut butter, and he just put it on his face.
Yeah, cut this next part. I'm gonna make it real easy for you. He
No.
took him down.
Um. So moving on.
Where did he take him down to?
Moving on.
Was it in Louisiana?
I think it was.
I think it was a southern state.
Yeah, because they had uh who's the guy fuck who played the
I
Sandman?
don't know because I still haven't seen Peanut
Who played
Butter
the
Falcon.
Sandman in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, the only name that comes to mind is Chet Holmgren, and that's not it.
No, because he also played the teacher in Easy A.
Yeah, see, I just saw a story about him today. I'd have to do some deep diving to find it. Uh, it will take me at least 2 minutes to find it. So if you have a grocery list to go over, now's the time to do it.
Yes. So as you're finding this guy's name, I will read you um something in my notes app.
I could also just look it up on IMDb as Spider-Man 3 cast, but I really want to find it. I'm gonna do the investigative journalism. I think
Yes.
it's this one. Maybe I'll find it sooner than I thought.
Okay. Random notes app. Eagles depth needs slot wide receiver, backup tight end, a future left tackle, a right guard, a linebacker, a cornerback, and a safety. So the reason I have this in my notes app is because I tend to look at these sports positions and just try to draft a perfect team. And so um, I don't think Wes Watkins will be the guy this year, even though a lot of people are saying he will be. I still think he has a lot to prove. So just another slot receiver to match up nicely with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, I think will be great for this team. The reason I have a backup tight end, I don't really have that much faith in Grant Calcaterra or Richard Rodgers. So just a nice, like a Dallas Goddard to a Zach Ertz would be a perfect. Just give me a nice draft. Zach, will you fucking find this guy's name? Jesus Christ.
I accidentally found myself on Samuel Jackson's IMDb page.
That's not what I'm fucking looking for.
Yeah,
God damn.
let me just find it in 3 seconds, like I know I can. Thomas Hayden.
There we go. Jesus Christ.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Thomas
I
Hayden Church.
really wanted to find it in a previous Instagram story I saw like 12 hours ago, but fucking it's just not there. It's not there anymore. Thomas Hayden Church would be a
Yes.
great replacement for
He
Quez Watkins this season.
Yes, but he was the wrestler who that this boy idolized, and I forget his name was the something. It was just fuck. I forget the name, but I whatever. I'm not gonna spend too much time thinking about it. But he used to have a wrestling camp, so he re-upped the wrestling camp for this boy who became the Peanut Butter Falcon. It's a very cute story, and it's very good. It's very funny. Shia LaBeouf, very, very, very good in it. And the fuck was her name from 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh, Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. She plays the boy with his caretaker.
She plays the boy with Down syndrome.
It's his
That's
caretaker.
range right there.
It's his caretaker. What's his caretaker?
All right.
It's very
I
good.
honestly
Very
was
good with
about to
that.
give up, and I was just about to give you the name Topher Grace.
No, it's not. No, it's not Topher Grace. Anyway,
No. Try to pass
um,
off Topher Grace as a wrestler.
we continue now.
I don't think there's a director in the world that could do that.
We can move on. Um,
Yeah.
we can move on to the Napoleon trailer.
Mm-hmm. Gonna have to quick pivot here.
Quick pivot.
We're
Looks really
digging
good.
out of this rabbit hole because it
Looks
went quite deep.
looks really good. I'm really excited for it.
Yes, 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 looks good. Looks quite good. Yes.
Quite well.
I have to. It looks very, very French.
Very.
Yes. It actually doesn't look very French at all because they're all just using their normal
It
accents
looks
and
very
it's
British.
just an English movie.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would prefer that greatly to them using like fake French accents because I think that would sound very, very
Fake.
cringeworthy. Kind of similar to what they did with the HBO Chernobyl series. It's all a bunch of Russians just speaking with they're just British actors using British accents because they just decided fuck it we have a story to tell first and language believability second.
Yeah.
And I think because it's a Ridley Scott film, it's more open to criticism and stuff like that, just because people love to criticize Ridley Scott movies. Because I guess they don't like some
Alien.
people don't like I don't know anyone who doesn't like Alien. Um
Sorry, they don't like Prometheus.
yeah, probably. Most of the camp is kind of like Prometheus or Alien Covenant. Spoiler alert, get over it.
Yeah.
And
If you don't like
spoiler alert,
if you don't like Prometheus, just
this is not the last time we're going to talk about Prometheus today.
if you don't like Prometheus, just get rid of his fucking security clearance.
Exactly. I am going to court against David, the David 8 model.
Mm-hmm.
But that other than that obvious criticism that is stupid in my opinion, um I think the runtime came out. I think it's like 2:38, so it's a similar runtime to The Last Duel, another movie based in France where they just use I mean, they speak English, they use their sort of normal accents. It's pseudo British accents, I guess, but
And what happened
nobody
with the last?
nobody criticized that movie for that.
Yeah, what happened with
I
the
guess
last?
that because this is it's
Why was there no
Napoleon
why was there
fucking
no
Bonaparte,
criticism?
I guess.
Why was there no criticism for the last duel?
As nobody fucking saw it. Nobody other than me in the world saw it.
I saw it.
Dean,
I saw
Nick, and I are the only
I
people
saw
I know who. I need to see your ticket. I can't confirm you saw it.
I didn't
The
see it
box
in
office
theater.
totals do not support that you saw it. Brutal stuff, but yeah, I still think The Last of Us is
Yep, the last of us.
yeah, no, the
The
Last of
last
Us did
duel.
not bomb.
The last
Last of
duel.
Us did very well. Yeah. I still think The Last Duel is the best film to come out of 2021.
Okay.
And that's not just because Ridley Scott's my favorite director, but I think from what I've seen from the Napoleon trailer, which was originally called Kit Bag, and I predicted 2 years ago they were going to
Oh,
change the title of the movie to Napoleon for
mhm.
box office reasons.
Yep.
And a year ago, I was right.
Hmm.
So easiest fucking alley oop I've ever had the pleasure of throwing down.
Hmm.
But this is I guess this is Ridley Scott back in historical epic mode. He
Hmm.
was here from like 2000 to 2005 when he did Gladiator, Black Hawk Down, and Kingdom of Heaven,
Hmm.
which the studios kind of butchered and they cut out like an hour of that film.
Hmm.
If you should watch Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut, because it's one of the best. Well, it's one of the best movies in the 2000s.
Okay.
But now he's back. He's done The Last Duel, which was incredible. He did House of Gucci, which was okay. But Napoleon looks phenomenal.
It does look really, really
It,
good.
it looks like, I mean, a sense of scale that you could only expect from like Denis Villeneuve or Christopher Nolan or Ridley Scott. There are very few directors who can pull off scale like that.
Hmm.
But one thing that I noticed, one thing that I noticed when any movie that pertains to portraying some level of historical accuracy is all of the videos on YouTube, all of like the historians react videos, and they just annoy the ever living shit out of me.
Hmm.
These people that pick everything apart, and there are good ones that can acknowledge that not everything is going to be historically accurate and just say, "Yep, that looks good." It's
Hmm.
not may not be 100% accurate, but I'm 100% down to watch this because it looks awesome, and
Hmm.
it does look awesome. And then you get the other historians react videos, just picking every little thing apart. Um, the same people who pick like Gladiator apart. It's like who clearly do not understand the title of historical fiction.
Yeah.
Those same people that I throw that term to as it pertains to Blonde. Fucking idiots. It literally says it in the caption, a fictitious take on a Roman general turned slave who defied an emperor. It's the same thing with Blonde.
If I
People
don't
don't have the
think
attention span to understand that.
I don't think I saw Blonde become uh a
Get it out.
I know it's right there,
Come on.
a warrior turned traitor.
Well, no, I was pivoting.
I think we watched two different blondes.
No, I'm not doing. I'm
I
not.
think this is why my blondes suck so bad. Is because I watched something else.
No, you didn't quite get your Maximus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not here to go over the blonde
No, we're not.
debate 2.0 yet. Although that will come in a future episode. But it's the same thing that people can't get over what historical fiction is, or they understand that it's historical fiction and they feel disrespected by like people playing with history for some reason. Even though there's no history that's sacred, I don't think. I don't think. I think if you had to make everything 100% historically accurate, then we would end up with
Textbooks.
some of the most boring movies that we've ever seen.
We'd be
Because newsflash, life is not quite as exciting as it is in the movies.
yeah,
But other than that,
reading a textbook.
yeah, if you want and even those aren't completely accurate.
No.
Why do you think they have to update them so often? Why do you think textbooks are starting to become obsolete? Because they hand out iPads nowadays that you get angry at playing like Subway Surfers in the middle of history class and smash the screen. And then you got to go to tech services and say you dropped it down the stairs and then they fix it and they get it back in a week.
Yep.
This is my junior year in a nutshell. Although it wasn't Subway Surfers. I think it was some
Was
like
it
mini
Temple Run?
golf game or something. Might have been Flappy Bird, now that I think about it.
Mm,
I may have been the last person on this earth who had Flappy Bird installed on an Apple device,
yeah,
but I thought it was incredible. I think it's incredible Ridley Scott's still doing things to this scale at 85 years old.
it's crazy.
Uh, I know. You got your Clint Eastwoods.
Who could
How old's Clint Eastwood? He's
He's
93
dying.
now.
He's
He's still
dying.
starring in
He's slowly
movies.
dying in every single thing he's making.
Yeah, hey. Um, Clint Eastwood looked like he should have died right after Gran Torino wrapped. That was fucking almost 14 years ago.
Yes,
The man is still chugging along. Even
yes.
though I don't like all of his movies. I gotta respect the grind. Scorsese's 80. He might be exactly 80. I'm not exactly sure, but he's releasing 3 hour and 30 long minute gangster epics and Killers of the Flower Moon, which is coming out soon, which is going to be awesome. There's some really good movies coming out soon
Hmm.
and that have already come out. You got, and they're long as fuck too. Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Dune 2, Napoleon, Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I'm putting on the list myself because I'm excited for it. I know that movie's probably going to bomb at the box office, but I will go and see it
Hmm.
5 times. Hopefully it's good. I just don't see any world where it's not good.
Yes.
But yeah, general thoughts on Napoleon. It comes out around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Looks
And
awesome.
quick, yeah, quick.
I'm expecting Joaquin to do Joaquin things. I'm expecting Vanessa Kirby to be awesome. She replaced Jodie Comer was originally supposed to play Josephine in Napoleon, but she had to leave due to scheduling conflicts. But Vanessa Kirby is a fantastic actress. No doubt she'll do a great job.
Hmm.
But I think there's supposed to be like six major battles from Napoleon's career,
Oh, wonderful.
and I'm curious to see how he tackles Napoleon's entire military career because it looks like that's what it's going to be. It starts from his first battles, there's the French Revolution all the way up to Waterloo.
Hmm.
So we have a lot of ground to cover in 2 hours and 38 minutes. But we also had a lot of ground to cover in the last duel, and I would presume that he's going to approach it like that. It's
Hmm.
going to move really fast. We're going to have time jumps here, here, here. I'm just really excited for it. It looks awesome.
Hmm. It does. It looks good. I There's not really much more I want to say really about it. It looks good. I guess I have to do more research into see.
There's not much you can really say until the movie comes out.
Yeah, looks good.
And
Excited
then
for it. Have faith in Joaquin.
and it's I don't know if you've seen All the Money in the World. Came out in 2017. It's about the Getty kidnapping. Stars. It's a movie that Christopher Plummer replaced
Mark Wahlberg.
Kevin Spacey in
Okay,
right after all the allegations came out.
gotcha.
It's the same screenwriter David Scarpa,
Okay,
and that movie was very well written. So I'm expecting the same out of this one.
did I see that? I think I did. My money.
Yeah,
What did I write that movie? All the money in the world. Didn't see it.
and it won
It
one of our movie
definitely
brackets here. It had got a
did.
rather high rating. I
Oh
put our
yeah,
movie bracket ratings
add it on the watch.
above Rotten Tomatoes.
Added it to the watch list.
Yeah, it's really good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. You know what else is really good?
Hmm.
Drum roll, please. Add all this part will be added sound effect over for our big part. Uh,
I didn't hear anything you said over the drum roll.
exactly.
Oh, very, that's very Christopher Nolan sound design-esque anyway.
Oh, this might be one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Some pretty high praise.
Oppenheimer might be one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Is it the best Christopher Nolan film you've ever seen?
It's up there. Yeah, I would say yes, it is.
It's up there.
I would say yes.
What would you put it up there with among Christopher Nolan movies? Give me your top three Christopher Nolan movies right now.
Dunkirk,
Okay.
Oppenheimer, and Dark Knight.
I think I would have oh, I don't know. It's kind
I'd probably
of
go Oppenheimer 1, Dark Knight 2. Maybe I'd go Interstellar. I do like that one a lot. And then Dunkirk. And then maybe throw like The Prestige or Memento. And then wrap out with um, Dark Knight, Batman, Tenet, that way.
I see. Hold on a second. I have to pull up a page. It's not loading. Okay. So I think it's difficult just because of the followings that The Dark Knight has gotten over the last 15 years
Mm-hmm.
and Inception,
Mm-hmm.
just because of its originality.
Yeah, but okay. Okay.
I would probably have, I mean, this is a list that will probably change in, I would imagine that the order is going to change over the next coming years because I would have, I guess I'd have Dark Knight, then Oppenheimer, then Inception.
Okay.
I have a very hard time dethroning The Dark Knight as Nolan's magnum opus,
I think
but
you
this
did with this one.
is very, very close. I think it's his. Let me phrase it this way. I would say Dark Knight. How about The Dark Knight is my favorite Nolan film? I think Oppenheimer,
Is his best film.
in the grand scheme of things, it's his best film.
I'm on
It's
the
his
I
best
can
film.
say I can agree with you on that. And
It's
maybe
best film. It's his most important film.
and because I bought tickets to see it Sunday night again. I'm going Sunday night in King of Prussia, the 70 millimeter showing at 11:30 at night.
I pray that the projectors don't take a crap on you,
I pray.
because they weren't lying when they said it's a big film in both scale and in uh,
Everything.
film stock.
Yeah. So
And 70 millimeter projectors for the 70 millimeter versions have been undergoing some technical difficulties.
yes. So let's start really with this breakdown of this movie by saying this is not Oppenheimer is not a movie. Okay. Oppenheimer is a film. Okay. This is a
Mm.
piece of cinema that will is transforming, will transform, and reimagine the art of actual filmmaking.
Just turn in David Fincher for a second.
Yeah,
I
this
make films and I make movies.
yes, everything about this film deserves praise. So I
Real
would
quick, just go over what is your definition of a film compared to a movie? Just see if
okay.
we have the same. I'm sure we have the same ideas of
Let's
what they are.
say okay. I was just in the grant in a very broad term. This film, Harry Potter movie.
I don't
Um,
know. I would say Prisoner of Azkaban is a film.
would you?
I would.
Okay.
It's made by a noted filmmaker, Alfonso Cuarón.
Okay. Um, Dark
So
Knight 2
varies.
or Dark Knight film, Batman Begins.
Kind of a movie, though.
No,
Dark Knight's kind of a movie, too.
I get okay, Batman. Okay, Dark Knight film where the Batman movie.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. They both have their film moments, but they also have their movie moments. This
Oppenheimer.
is all this
Hold
is
on,
all us trying to
hold on.
explain film versus movie, but
Here we
we
go.
haven't
Oppen,
defined our definition of film versus movie yet.
Oppenheimer film, Barbie movie.
Oh, Oppenheimer, 100% film. Barbie, I haven't seen it yet.
Neither have I. Movie, just by the
Haven't
looks.
seen that yet.
Okay, you just can't.
But Greta Gerwig, known
Film.
filmmaker.
Right.
So I guess it leaves it up to discussion. Is Prisoner of Azkaban a film or a movie? The color
Um.
grading looks film, looks Oscar-esque.
Okay. Um. The Northman film, Morbius movie.
The Northman. Oh, you know what I thought? You know what my brain just told me before my brain rerouted and said the Northman? I heard Norm of the North for a solid 3 seconds. I was
Oh.
like, Norm of the North film? Okay, we're in meme land now.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Um.
Norm of the North, we can all agree film.
Yep. And
Um, yes, the
and
Northman
everything
film,
everywhere all at once movie.
but also film. How many Oscars did it win? They don't
Sorry.
give Oscars to movies.
No. Tar film,
Very uppity film.
The Gray Man movie.
Agreed.
Banshees film
Hmm.
where you go. Now here's a hot take: Avatar: The Way of Water movie.
No, it's not a hot take at all. That's 100% movie.
The Pale
No
Blue
film.
Eye
Filmed on
film.
digital too.
The Pale
What?
Blue Eye film where hmm,
Yeah, it's meh. It's
13 Lives
okay
movie.
film. No, I would say 13 Lies film.
Really? Okay, I'd put it into more of a movie.
No,
Not
I'd put it in
not
film.
not disgruntling the movies, but just saying I would put that more towards movie.
Okay,
Okay.
no, overarching point.
No, but I would make the
We
change. I say
haven't.
Bullet Train movie,
Yes,
where Top Gun Maverick film.
I would say Top Gun Maverick's more movie.
Mm, okay.
I mean, it's again, we're all right. Here's the rules for this. You're We're allowed to agree and disagree over what's a film and what's a movie, but we're not allowed to tell the audience what our definition of film or movie is, even though everybody knows and it's very obvious.
You
It
can
cannot be physically said.
you can tell what a film is, and you can tell what a movie is.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I'm
I
going to
mean,
tell you my why.
broadest example I can think of Avengers movie, Manchester by the Sea film. We agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone knows what we're talking about. We're not
Yeah.
going to define it though.
No.
We're because
Banshees.
like all good filmmakers, you
Banshees is an
show and don't
American
tell.
film where uh Lightyear movie.
Yeah, not a necessary movie either.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Whereas, no,
Let's get back.
but
Let's get
you
back
can
to
also be a bad film and still be a film.
um.
In your definition of, I mean, again,
Mhm.
the penultimate example that polarizes the two of us.
Blonde.
Blonde, I think film. You think bad film.
Mm-hmm.
But you still agree it's film. You would
Film.
say film. Definitely film.
Blonde is not a movie. Blonde is a film.
No, Blonde is
I
definitely
just don't think
film.
it's a very good film.
Yeah, and I think it is a very misunderstood, underrated film.
Okay.
But let's try to. All right, I'm gonna. And now we have to
Here's,
obviously go over
here's another
an
one. Did you
example of a
watch?
movie.
Did you watch Asteroid City?
Not yet.
Good
Film.
film.
I mean, every Wes Anderson is it's film to the max.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Wes Anderson
Filmmaker.
and Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Yes.
Paul W.S. Anderson,
Movie.
shitty movie. Very shitty movie,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird because I want to consider if Event Horizon was better than it was, where would Paul W.S. Anderson be? Maybe he wouldn't have directed Alien versus Predator.
Okay.
Maybe he would have actually
Asteroid
done good
City
work.
film. Total Recall movie.
Mm-hmm. Now we're seeing
Gladiator film. Red Notice movie.
don't put Gladiator in the same sentence as Red Notice. What are we
Sorry.
doing? Although I would argue Gladiator is
You can argue.
film and movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, you
Again,
can put Gladiator in as movie,
yeah.
but you can't.
I have my explanations. You you all know what we're talking about is the point.
We just can't say it.
Yeah. So maybe this will become we'll have this as part of like a rating system to
Movie.
get past like not being banned because we're rating movies.
Oh, so we'll
I
just
think
have to
that's the
rate it.
new thing. Yeah,
Film.
we'll have to rate it as film or movie. A good film, good movie, or bad film, bad movie.
Oh, we could eventually do full length episodes of just doing this.
We could literally review
That's not for.
movies and say we could give absolutely no valuable information and just review movies in this manner.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
Let's get out of this.
mindless movie reviews.
We are probably going to be in here for a very long time in our regular talking point. So let's
This is
derail out of this rabbit hole of just movie and or film.
this is the longest prologue ever.
It is. So I could just read you the synopsis of what Oppenheimer is, but everybody already knows what Oppenheimer is. So I will go to say this is a character study of J. Robert Oppenheimer than it is more about the making of the atomic bomb. And it's safe to say that Cillian Murphy put this movie on his fucking back. But the reason he was so goddamn good. So this might be like the best, one of the best performances from a lead actor I've seen in a very, very long time. But I think the reason I hold it so high is because of the surrounding cast, which Emily Blunt,
Take your fucking pick.
Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Alden Ehrenreich, Jason Clarke, Tony Goldwyn, James Darcy, Kenneth Branagh. Oh Jesus Christ, where do you want me to keep going? David Krumholtz, Alex Wolff. You got Florence Pugh. You got Matthew Modine, Matt Damon, Dane DeHaan, Josh Peck, Jack Quaid, Benny Safdie with probably the greatest accent in all of filmmaking. Rami Malek, Casey Affleck, you fucking Sean Avery. I mean, you fucking Gary Oldman. Like, I could keep going.
Where was Sean Avery in this movie?
Sean Avery, spoiler alert, but it's not really important, was before they drop the bomb, they're inside that wooden area. It is pouring rain, and Cillian Murphy tells him he needs to evacuate his men.
Sean Avery had a line. Hockey player Sean Avery had a line in this movie.
Former hockey player Sean Avery had like 4 lines.
He must have delivered them rather well because I was not taken out of the movie. He blended into that role. Holy shit!
2 scenes, two parts of the movie.
Jesus Christ, he had more lines than Josh Peck.
He did. He did.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Sean Avery got more lines.
Sean Avery was in
Josh Nichols.
Sean Avery was in a wide shot. A wide shot. Cillian Murphy was standing up here looking down at the table, and Sean Avery was against the wall in the table. And then he said, "You need to call your men off. Just tell, like, whatever, call them inside." Cillian Murphy goes to do whatever he thinks. Lightning cracks, something happens. Then it's a fucking close up on Sean Avery grabbing the phone. Like he got a close up. So then they left.
That alone, I'm gonna have to see the movie again.
So then they
And I
left.
was already going to.
They went outside. Sean Avery's about to walk inside of the house in the pouring rain, and somebody was his fucking David Krumholtz stops him, or Matt Damon stops him. Somebody stops him and says something else to him. But yeah, Sean Avery has like 4 lines, like full like sentences. But
Sean Avery is an active actor, and I'm not.
but
Jesus
regardless
Christ.
of that, like every single character in this movie ate when they had their chance. And it was
Yeah,
like
you know the one name I didn't hear.
David Dalsmatian, sorry.
No, not even him. And obviously everybody does an incredible job. But I mean,
Alex,
Nolan took our pirate idea and he said, I'm gonna do you one better. And he took every actor in the world and he put him in this movie.
yeah. Who did I miss? I read the
You don't
cast.
know? You read the cast. I did not hear the name. The guy that I don't think is getting quite enough love, personally.
Just don't.
He has quite a lot of screen time.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. See if you can find him.
Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, RDJ, Alden Ehrenreich, Jason Clarke, Tony Goldwyn, James Darcy,
Zero.
Kenneth Branagh, David,
Time's up.
Josh Hartnett, Alex Wolff.
Josh Hartnett.
I said that.
I didn't hear you say Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, Josh Hartnett. Looking
I
beautiful
didn't
as
hear Josh Hartnett. I was waiting for it.
beautiful as ever. Did I miss him? No, there's no way because I read over his name. Josh Hartnett.
I did not
Beautiful.
hear you
He's
say Josh
awesome.
Hartnett. I was
Josh
waiting for
Hartnett's
it.
fucking awesome in this movie, and he's in here for a very long time.
Yes, he is. But he's the one guy that I haven't. I mean, obviously, Robert Downey Jr. is getting a lot of praise, deservedly so. He's incredible. Um,
Obviously,
Matt Damon does the gruff military thing very well.
but like with
Uh,
humor.
yeah,
He's Matt Damon is the comic relief in this movie.
yeah. And Cillian Murphy goes without saying. I mean, I don't even think you need to mention his name because it should go without saying. But yeah, the two that I would highlight, the exemptions you have, I think, are Cillian Murphy and RDJ.
Mhm.
Emily Blunt's also very good too. But the Benny Safdie, the accent alone, I did not.
No, you had that in him. He's become a character actor.
I mean, you talk about directors who are also great actors. He did the. I mean, have you seen Good Time with Robert Pattinson? I don't know what it is about Benny Safdie. I love watching him on screen.
He's so good.
I feel like he's one of those guys that you could just give anything to and he'll make it work. I feel like he's kind of Tom Hardy-esque in that way. He can do ridiculous accents, and he's kind of got like this tough kind of exterior about him.
Hmm.
I know he obviously directs a lot of stuff with his brother, but I mean, I'd like to see him do more acting.
Oh
I don't.
God.
I outside of Oppenheimer and Good Time, I don't think I've seen much of him.
Um,
I would very much like to.
but regardless, every everybody had their moment in this movie, and they did not disappoint.
I am. And
Every
this is one of those
this
rare.
entire juggernaut of a cast ate up every moment they had. and it shows you what like just like the talent of Nolan being like an actor director, an actor's director, being like, but also being like a very technical director where he has this very technically perfect film, but then with a juggernaut cast and gave every single character in this movie a time to shine. And I guess where you say even some of the characters like Rami Malek and like Jack Quaid and Dane DeHaan don't really have that much, but when it's their time, back against the wall, they put on like, dude, like I'm going to use Rami Malek as an example. He didn't have much in this movie, but when he did, he came in and was like, "Oh, by the way, remember me? I won an Oscar." Boom, just and probably gave one of the best performances in this movie in 5 minutes, and he had 5 lines, and
Well, you can
it
say
was
that
probably the
about
most
any of these
important.
actors in this movie.
Yeah,
You have people who regularly anchor films who are happy to be in this film for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, maybe a minute. You have um
you
I mean
keep
Dane DeHaan, I really like Dane DeHaan from A Cure for Wellness. Not many other people have even seen, much less even know about that movie.
they would yeah no they would
He's
know
in here.
him as the Harry Osborn from the Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Yeah. And everyone's favorite wrestler. Um,
the Peanut Butter Falcon.
yeah, everyone's favorite Venom turned wrestler, Topher Grace.
Yeah,
But I mean, I feel like this is one of those rare examples of a movie that, I mean, the script goes out and it's so phenomenal that you get these actors who, like you said, these are Oscar-winning actors who are just happy to be a part of it. And on top of it, you get it, you get a leading actor who has had small parts in Nolan films before, who gets the leading part and who just knocks your fucking socks off.
dude, this
I think everyone knew Cillian Murphy
had this.
was capable of being this caliber of an actor. He got his opportunity. He swung for the fence and he hit it out of the goddamn zip. He hit it out of the zip code.
Dude, he
He's
so
I can't even I don't think I can put into words how incredible he is in this movie.
that's one of the things I wanted to bring up was just the essence of like the script. Like this is like Sorkin level writing.
It's it's a level of writing that I didn't know if I would see from Christopher Nolan. We see directors who direct and write their own movies. Your Tarantino, obviously. Um, shit, help me out. Martin McDonough.
There it is.
Sorry. Yeah, Martin McDonough. Guys who you can flip a coin. Are they a better director? Or are they a better writer? I've always felt Christopher Nolan is a better director than he is a screenwriter, but not just anybody can tackle a 3 hour biopic about the man who created the atomic bomb and make it as captivating in a 3 hour runtime with an R rating as Christopher Nolan can. And it's a very rare thing when you have, and as much as I shit on Avatar, The Way of Water and Avatar, you just have directors that know how to bring it at the box office. They know how to deliver financially.
Mhm.
James Cameron's one of them. Christopher Nolan's another one.
Mhm.
You just go and see it because it doesn't matter what he's making or what they're making. You're
You're gonna
going for the experience. Like
uh,
you're going to see a Christopher Nolan movie, or you're going to same thing with Tarantino. You're going to see a Tarantino movie. You're going to see a James Cameron movie, and I think that's very admirable. And Tenet didn't do that well. That was mostly because of the pandemic.
and horrible marketing and just
But
just doesn't
Yeah, just think of how
make sense.
rare it is
I think
to
I
get.
actually understand that movie by accident.
I couldn't understand it on purpose.
That's what it accidentally made sense to me one time, and I thought I needed to kill myself.
I I didn't understand it first two times I watched it. Part of that was I think I was really, really high when I watched it both times. That's
Yeah.
back when I actually partook in the edible market.
Mm,
And the Walter Whites of the world polluted my mind with drugs.
mm.
Yeah, don't do marijuana, kids. Don't OD on marijuana.
But where were
But
we?
I just want like just to acknowledge how incredible a feat it is to release an R-rated 3 hour long biopic that's 90% dialogue.
Yes,
And people are gonna go see it. But
yes. Because this movie had where other movies are like the tense of the action, where like would show that right, like that important moment on scene. Not saying in this movie, but in like in other movies, that important moment is shown. Where like in this, those important moments are being spoken, which make it hit that much harder. And the fact that these actors are being able to say those lines and deliver those performances as and make them hit harder than many action sequence can, or that most action sequences could do, just by being able to deliver it verbally, is fucking brilliant.
well, that's the one thing that I think is so unique and admirable about Nolan and the way that he approaches not just his visual storytelling, but the way that he incorporates sound into his movies.
Dude, the
I mean, this is 90% dialogue. This is also one of the loudest movies I have ever watched in a movie theater.
the sound design in this movie is fucking incredible. It is
Yeah, you couldn't like you unless you're like a TikTok mind poisoned teenager who's just like looking at like girls on TikTok who are pretending to be NPCs because they have the attention span of no longer than 5.6 seconds at a time. I don't think you can't watch this movie and not be drawn in for like the entire 3 hour runtime.
it's so hard.
And maybe not the
Movie
entire 3 hour runtime because and
like
I
entire
will
3 hour.
stand by this. I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect movie. This is no exception. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking the the critiques I have on this movie are so inconsequential that this doesn't matter.
I mean, I do have a critique, but I'm putting this.
I have multiple critiques, but
This is one of
they
my
pale in comparison to what this film does right.
this is one of my 13 perfect movies. I will say, but I could
Yeah, but
critique it. Like I can critique. Did he need to say John F. Kennedy in that one scene? No. Did they mess up the flags at the one part during the house or the schoolhouse scene because of the time being in the 40s? They were using the 50 stars flag instead of what it was back then. Little things like that where I don't really I'm not going to give a fuck about, because I also have one of the best movies that I have 100 out of 100, which many people on the internet say is the worst scene in film, and it's from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where Charlie's mom is singing.
you talk about the old one or the new
Yeah,
one?
the old one.
Uh, where's mom is singing? Your what? Your best scenes?
No, one of the worst scenes. But it's one
Oh,
of those things where like I could say this is a perfect movie, but I can let some little things slide.
yeah. I think that's the case with any great movie.
Yeah.
There's going to be drawbacks to it,
Like
undoubtedly.
I've
But
I've I've after seeing this movie, I've moved the Social Network into 100 out of 100.
Well, it's interesting you say The Social Network because I'll get to that in a moment. The one thing that Nolan can't seem to get over, and this is something I've noticed in The Dark Knight, it's specifically in The Dark Knight Rises and uh, Dunkirk and Tenet, but especially in Tenet, is his sound design is so intense that it drowns out dialogue sometimes. In Tenet, we noticed that even when the one scene in Tenet where people critique it, it's intentional. You're not supposed to be paying attention to what the guy's saying. You know, he's paying attention to like what he's supposed to be doing within the heist, but that's separate from the point. There are moments where Nolan doesn't mix, and his dialogue is drowned out too much by either his the sound design in scene or by the score.
Don't even
And
start.
we'll talk about the score too because
Let's just keep going.
oh God, is the
Keep
score
going.
amazing.
Keep going with the sound design.
Well, that's pretty much where that starts and ends. Is he as much as I love how booming and intense and loud Nolan loves to make his movies, the just let let me hear the important dialogue that I need to hear because I didn't hear everything. There are some moments in Oppenheimer I came out a little bit fuzzy about because I didn't quite get all the dialogue that I was supposed to hear.
This will be a movie I watch with captions at some point, like when it's released.
It is really loud
Yes.
and I loved it.
But like you mentioned the score.
How fantastic is the score?
Ludwig Göransson put his entire nutsack and asshole into this score.
Yeah, this is a guy who replaced Hans Zimmer as Nolan's
God.
composer from Tenet onward because and I mean Zimmer's doing his own fantastic thing with the Dune franchise now, which
Oh,
is awesome. We had Goranson doing Nolan movies, who's bringing on his own unique touch, but I mean you can also hear clearly Hans Zimmer's big influence to Goranson. You can hear it, um, and the influences are there. All you have to do is listen to listen to some of the Dark Knight trilogy music and listen to some of the Tenet music, some of the music here, a lot of like ticking, especially something they both like to play with a lot. But
mhm.
as far as I don't think Nolan could have found a better replacement than Goranson. I think
Greatest score of
they
all
work together
time with the
perfectly.
second greatest score of all time.
Yeah,
What a
only like
good
it
punch.
would if he got like the only way I would have been like fully satisfied with, and this is before Tenet, before I knew who was going to score Tenet. And then like, okay, you're going to have to replace um, Hans Zimmer with John Williams or something.
Yeah.
You're going to have to replace 1A with another 1A. And I just replaced him with another 1A that I didn't know was a 1A.
Yeah.
It's
It's
fantastic. I listened to it twice all the way through already. And I got home from watching Oppenheimer yesterday at about 11.
mhm.
I've already played through it twice.
Yeah.
Last night, last night I played some video games and I just cranked the Oppenheimer score. And then again on my way to and from work, I cranked it.
Can we talk about
Wow, that sounds fucking wrong. My
the
way to and from work, I cranked it. God damn.
yeah.
Horny. I'm horny AF, bro. I'm a freak.
Can we talk about
There's so much that I want to talk about.
okay. Well, let's start with talking about that I guess we'll go spoiler ahead now. So if you have not seen this movie, we basically reviewed the movie in a non-spoiler way. So pause it here, skip to the end,
Yeah,
uh,
or
go
just
watch
like
it,
do
come back.
some, or just like Wikipedia the Manhattan Project, and you
Yeah,
probably won't be spoiled.
exactly. Because you already know what's gonna happen.
If you don't know what happened in Japan in
But
1945,
but there's so many things, man. There's so many things I want to get into.
I know. I don't think you could, I
Where
don't
can
think
we
we could
start?
spoil this because it's so,
I guess let's just start from the beginning, or like
yeah.
towards the beginning. Um, with this already star-studded cast, I'm very impressed that Christopher Nolan was able to resurrect Albert Einstein from the dead and bring him back into this movie because the actor that played
Tom
Einstein,
Conti.
god damn, was he fucking spot
He
on.
is, he is Einstein.
He is Einstein. This guy is a fucking spitting image of the greatest science mind to ever touch the planet.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of Tom Conti without the Einstein stash. He looks like a completely different person. Here's Tom Conti without the stash.
Oh my god, look at him. I'm looking right at him.
Looks like a nice guy.
He
Doesn't
does.
necessarily look like Einstein.
No, he doesn't.
And a younger him looked a lot like Al Pacino.
Yeah, he did.
Even the old him, I mean, you can see traces of it. This picture, a young Einstein. This
He
is
does
Tom
kind of
Conti.
look.
The eyes, it's in the eyes, Chico. They never lie.
He also kind of looks a little like if you
He looks
take
like a lot of
if
different people.
you take his face, if you take his outer body, hair, neck, body shape, kind of looks like George Lucas. Face wise,
Yeah,
kind of like Al
there's your George Lucas
Pacino,
right there.
kind of mixed with like Al Pacino
He looks
uh
like a young Scorsese sometimes. He
and the
looks
pigeon lady from uh Home Alone 2.
Artemis Fowl. No.
No, the pigeon lady.
I have no idea what Artemis Fowl is about. The only I used to see it in the elementary school library, and I
Well,
used
the
to
books
just
are
think of
really good.
Mrs. Fowl. I just thought of Mrs. Fowl from Jimmy Neutron.
Sheen.
Team, put away your Lord figurine.
Jimmy.
Yeah, watch as we inhale our microphones on stream.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see what that looked like.
Yes, you do.
um, but anyway,
Scottish.
uh, him. So we can say with the performances from the from the supporting actors, I would say Robert Downey Jr. has to be in the front running, right, for best supporting actor.
For sure.
Would you put
I don't think you, I
anybody else? Do
mean,
you think there'll be multiple
I think you'll have Cillian
nominees?
Murphy as a shoe-in.
Mhm.
Robert Downey Jr. is probably a shoe-in. Emily Blunt has a really good shot at best actress, or would it be, I guess would it be supporting actress? I don't
It
know how
would
much
have to
screen
be.
time you need. I mean, Michelle Williams got nominated for best actress for The Fabelmans. She was not in the movie for that long. Also didn't think she should have gotten nominated at all.
Yeah, that's why I
But
don't think I would throw her in there. Like I would throw maybe
that's
Alden Ehrenreich,
yeah. Probably not.
uh,
Um,
David Krumholtz.
I would my okay. So I would go from highest probability. I would go Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt. Um, then it's kind of close between Josh Hartnett and Benny Safdie.
I'll go Jason Clark.
Jason Clark's good. Jason Clark's also he's one of those guys that's in everything
Yeah, he's in
that
every.
will never get nominated for
I don't know.
anything.
This could be his role. Like that. That might be. So the last hour of this movie was probably the best political drama, the political thriller that you could see ever. Like this political thriller part of the movie matches and goes toe to toe with uh the fucking atomic bomb dropping. And especially there were two atomic bombs dropped in this movie. Theoretically, three. The first one we saw, the second one they talked about, and the third one was the bomb dropping of a scene between Jason Clark and Emily Blunt.
And I think in my case there were four because somebody ran out of the theater and I think he shat his pants.
Oh no.
He ran out, and it there was a vapor trail, and we all smelled it.
Oh no. I was listening to the Lights Camera Barstool, and Jeff D'Lo said that he had somebody get up out of it and leave the theater when the clock was ticking at 4 seconds in the Trinity scene. He was
That's
like, if that's an ever don't leave the theater at this moment type scene in movie history,
Did he
that's
say why he left the
no. He
theater?
said the guy just got up and left.
Mm, Have you considered it's because he did not want to get blown up?
He thought
That's the most obvious one that came to my brain.
he was
Like
gonna
he
get.
was so immersed he didn't want to die.
He was like 4 seconds. Like, oh, I gotta go.
He saw the memes. He knows what happens when that clock hits zero. You know Chris Nolan didn't use CGI.
You're right, dude. I thought I was gonna be in like
Man
the
didn't
sport. I
want to
thought I was gonna
fucking
be in
get
like the.
vaporized,
I
dude.
thought I was gonna be in the treehouse in Animal Kingdom in Disney World, where I'll feel like the fucking bugs run under my seat because everything's in that 4D.
That yeah, I became at 6 years old, I transformed from a boy to a man in that treehouse. Most horrific experience of my life. I
What does
wasn't
that
raped
mean?
or anything. No, I
You
wasn't
mean
raped or anything
a
like that.
bug fucked you in the butt?
I went to Disney. I went to Disney with my priest. Yeah.
Uh, That's 6 years old.
Yeah. I became a man
You became a
because
man
that
in
was
Animal Kingdom treehouse.
you I went there um probably 14 years later. I think I was 20 the next time I went there. It's just as terrifying. I
Like
was
Sphinx.
I was shaped from a very young age. I after I was in that treehouse, the Bugs Life treehouse, at 6 years old, I went back to Pennsylvania. I watched the Normandy scene from Saving Private Ryan 7 times, didn't flinch. Um, I watched Jaws, which terrified me before then. No longer had a fear of sharks. Um, and I got my first detention from, I think it was kindergarten. I got my first pink slip at kindergarten. I went home. I dropped the pink slip in the sewer. I didn't give a fuck. I
Mm-hmm.
was an adult by that point. Nothing scared me beyond that treehouse.
Getting the spray in the face to get the stink smell, and then feel the bugs run underneath your butt on the seats.
Yeah, I was convinced that I was on acid when I was 6.
Then you
I
go to
was convinced I had to tear my skin off because there were bugs. There were scarabs, scarab beetles running beneath my skin.
then you go to
And there
the
was a
honey,
mummy
then you,
behind me, and Brendan Fraser had to save me.
then you go to the Honey I Shrunk the Kids thing,
Something about
and it's like that video again.
giant bugs that is just horrific.
Oh, all right.
I don't want to think about it.
Spiraling.
Yeah, wormhole,
Let's get
but
out of it.
whatever. All right. So we were talking
We were talking about
about,
the Emily Blunt and Jason Clark scene,
yeah.
which is probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire thing.
All right. So you
Unless you just
give me
want to
your,
break it down, just start from like closer towards the beginning.
are we gonna break down the whole movie?
We could. I mean,
I
not
mean,
for scene, but we could basically start from the beginning towards the end.
all right, let's start from you give me your favorite scene in the movie, and I'll give you my favorite scene in the movie.
I'll wait till we get to favorite scene, but I'll start with we're gonna talk about how he tried to fucking kill his professor.
You know, that's a true story. It actually happened.
Yeah, he poisoned a fucking apple.
Yeah, you know what I
And I
love?
thought Kenneth Branagh was gonna
You know
take
what I
that.
love about that scene though? And the brilliance of the screenplay. That's just foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
He's created something lethal. He unleashes it, and he immediately regrets it when it's out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's able
Okay.
to stop that one,
You want
but
to know
later on,
one of my favorite scenes? One of my favorite scenes is when he's talking to Gary Oldman's President Truman,
that was a funny that was
and it's the only time it made me laugh out loud in this theater. But when he was like, "I feel like I have blood on my hands," And Truman and
Hmm.
Gary Oldman grabs his handkerchief and he's like, I pressed that button. And he's basically like, here you go, you little fucking bitch.
Fucking
He
cry about it.
fucking
Cry
cry about
about
it,
it, you
you
little
stupid
scientist.
little bitch.
Now, if yeah,
Get that
the big,
crybaby out of
the
here.
most alpha character in the entire film is Truman.
Yeah. He's like, I
And
pressed the fucking button,
honestly,
stupid hoe.
because there are so many, this is such a star-studded movie. When he showed up on screen, I was like, oh
I had
yeah,
no
that's Gary
idea. I had
Oldman.
to think
I was
about it
like,
first. I
yeah.
had to really
I was
look
like,
at him.
oh, I remember like 6 months ago um, they said Gary will be joining the cast of Oppenheimer, but they didn't say what it was, and I was like, yeah, that's Gary Oldman.
But they said it was like
You
it
know
was
how
they
I
were
know
already
that's Gary
they were
Oldman because
already in
that's
the
the
midst of
second
filming.
time that he looks just like an American version of Winston Churchill
Yeah.
that he portrayed.
When's he gonna do like Stalin?
Is there on the
Surprised he
if you
didn't.
can give a
Surprised he's not doing
criticism to this
Napoleon.
movie, if there like it's not even a criticism, but I would have loved to see Gary Oldman in an extensive role in this movie.
There's so
Somehow.
many people I would have loved to
I don't
see.
know where he would I don't know what he would have where he would have been.
Hmm.
Actually, you know what? No, I take that back because I don't think I would have preferred to see anybody else play Truman.
There's a lot of people I
Just
would have liked to see in this movie to
yeah,
see what they would
just
have
like
done with a character.
you can cry about it, you little fucking pussy. You
Yeah.
gonna cry about it? We're back to back World War champions, bitch.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah. Get this crybaby out of here. Slams door.
I think there is a quote from
Um,
Truman saying that he was a crybaby scientist. I think that was the exact wording. But again, the Apple thing, that actually happened. The
yeah.
Truman thing, that actually happened.
I would have liked to
Stuff that
see
didn't actually happen, but I mean, that's creative liberties.
I would have liked to see like a Harrison Ford in this movie.
He
But
shows up in a different
no, but
timeline from the Dial of Destiny.
no, but being in the Lewis Strauss hearing scene as maybe the guy, uh the chairman who
One of the
has
grumpy old
yeah,
politicians.
yeah. Just see like
Um,
just see Lewis Strauss, just see Robert Downey Jr. and Harrison Ford going back and forth at it in like a political thriller.
yeah, the fugitive, the atomic fugitive. We can
Yeah.
bring Tommy Lee Jones in here too.
Oh, that would be sweet too.
There's definitely a role Tommy Lee Jones could have played in this movie. You got every, I mean,
I mean, you could have had Jared Leto could have been fucking really good in this movie
no,
as a
no, no.
scientist.
We wanted this to be a good movie. I don't want
No, as
Jared
like a
Leto.
scientist early on, part of the molecule part where like Josh Hartnett's creating stuff, like not later towards where it gets real.
No, what he transforms into a vampire and says it and says it's bombing time.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, yeah. He's one of the scientists at Los Alamos watching the bomb drop, and the bomb drop, and he unlike Benny Safdie who puts sunscreen on, he doesn't, and the radiation just turns him into
And he
Morbius.
goes,
Yeah, and you,
and
and
his skin starts melting off.
he just turns into a
Oh my
bat.
God, if Jared Leto played Benny Safdie's character in this movie, I think it would have been a national travesty.
No, but one of the things I was saying was in our group chats was because of the amount of people you could throw in this, they really missed the ball in not having Drake Bell
Oh yeah, I know.
because fucking Josh Nichols, Josh Peck pressed the button and dropped the bomb. You want to talk
And
about
Drake,
everybody? You want to talk about the founding father of the atom bomb? Josh Peck dropped the bomb in Christopher Nolan's biggest movie.
I think that would have been the greatest crossover in cinematic history. If you just have you have the bomb pressing, you need to throw a Megan line in there too somewhere. Um,
Yeah, but then when they're all celebrating, it cuts back to them, and you have the hug me, brother. Like
yeah,
that's the perfect time for it.
yeah. You have that. You have the uh-oh. the fuse is dead. Megan.
Yeah.
And then they fix it and they finally drop it. And then you got Crazy Steve on the bomb in a Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb scene with a hat on the bomb,
As
going,
he's slapping the back,
going, yeah, he's cranking the TV, trying
yeah,
to watch Dora.
and he's it's as the bomb suspended in the tower, he's just fucking spanking it with his hat. So, cock a
Yep.
doodle doo, the
He's
cows.
going, Dora, the bomb's over there. It would have been perfect. The
Yeah.
perfect crossover that never happened.
Oh, that would have been fucking great. That would have been incredible.
Now comes the tough task of pivoting from comedy back to hard thinking analysis. We're gonna
Which
do it.
what's your favorite line in this movie?
Other than now I am become death destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, like as
Because I don't think that line can be beaten by any line ever.
I don't know. It is right. It is so close.
Um,
It is
no,
it's such a
my
good line
my
because it's right
favorite
before the
line of the
bomb is
film
dropped.
is my favorite line of the whole film is it's the exchange between Einstein and Oppenheimer at the end,
Yeah,
where they're pondering
line's
over
right
what's
before that.
happened. He said, "Do you remember when we said we would shape the world? We would shape the world?" And Einstein says, "Of course I do." Or we said we had the power to destroy the world. I don't exactly remember what the quote
Yeah, the
was.
power to destroy the world if we
Yeah,
made that something. And he said, "Of
yeah. He
course."
says,
But
"Of
if we're
course I
doing
do." He
it,
says,
no.
"I believe we did." And then
Yeah,
you get a look inside Oppenheimer's mind of the possibility of nuclear war and um, a shot of him uh,
in his
in
own
the
hell.
plane witnessing.
In hell. Oh, the
Yeah,
bombs fly. The rockets fly over.
yeah, and you see um, the the rockets from like I don't know what the rockets are called, like rockets from the '60s or something, and like the
But
space
and
program.
I love that Nolan showed it like that because again, like this whole thing is coming off of the back. Like this is Oppenheimer's point of view, right? Like this is off his back. But when David Dastmalchian was talking about being in that plane and seeing the first rocket come over, and then it cuts to act like Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer, like in the plane, like in that position, like what it would look like, what he was envisioning. I thought it was
Mhm.
that was very well done.
This is definitely, and then it goes back to I think this is probably Nolan's best use of visual storytelling that he's done so far in a film. On top of this being at least the second best screenplay he's written, possibly behind The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight is. I mean, I haven't seen The Dark Knight in probably about 2 years, but I could quote that for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right, y'all.
exactly, I've parodied it. I've parodied it. I've
No, not me.
I mean
Come for
I've
me.
s- I've satirized it in a very recent film,
Yep.
actually. I mean, how many lines did we just blatantly take from that movie and
You're
just satirize it into this
yeah.
movie?
At
Why
least.
so serious? Because you're not paying rent, hunt. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
No, I was gonna say my favorite line in this is Alan Ehrenreich's right before your favorite one with Einstein, where he says to Strauss, he was like, maybe they were just talking about things that are bigger than all of this.
yeah.
And then it cuts. It's a hard cut,
But
and the hard cut right to
yeah, but you know what I like right
because
before
he
it
opens the door.
cuts? Yeah, right before it cuts. And why I think this is one of Robert Downey Jr.'s best performances ever. And I think one
He
of the
became a
main
menacing little
things,
cunt, didn't he?
yeah, but one of the things that I think is portrayed so well in this film is just the f- just the facial acting, because there are so many close shots, and it relies on, again, like I said, visual storytelling. So facial expressions are just as important as dialogue in this movie.
but they're very
Cillian
minuscule.
Murphy has always been masterful at portraying something through his facial expressions. And what, like you were saying in that scene, we said maybe they were talking about something more important. And then as soon as he opened the door, Strauss' face goes from a scowl immediately to a wide grin smile as he goes out and faces the cameras.
Mhm.
It's so good.
And then he walks. Well, Ehrenreich then walks into like the crowd a little bit and turns back and gives him a little smirk and like a wink.
Hmm. There's
The
and
unknown, because he didn't have a name, right? No.
no, they
All
didn't name
Ehrenreich
him.
was
No,
he's just an unnamed secretary or
Holden did
Senate
not have a
aide
name.
or something like that. Like it's
I think he was like
brilliant,
his advisor.
brilliant.
He was and this is just a personal thing. When I he used a lot of the same facial, not even facial expression, just the way that his face looks brought me back to Cocaine Bear when
Yeah,
he's like moping around.
yeah.
I'm like, I can't, this is the same guy. But
I do love Alden Ehrenreich. I love watching him act.
he's
I
been great in everything,
really,
except that solo thing.
I thought he was really good in that. I think I his
I
performance.
didn't have a problem with him. I thought the script was pretty
Yeah, I
shitty.
didn't like the script, but
I
I
think he had a
liked
whole
him.
lot to work with. But I do think I think he's a really good actor.
Hmm.
And I'm glad that he
He's a
got,
little. I would say he's a little underrated.
yeah, I think underrated. I think you can put a lot of the actors that Nolan was able to get for this movie underrated. I think
Dude, he got who was
Josh Hartnett
what's
is
his name?
underrated. I think
Roderick
David
Rules.
Dalmatian is underrated. Aaron Reich is underrated. Uh, Jason Clarke is criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the list goes on, but you get my point.
Yeah, he was. He got Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
That
Roderick
was another one that I was going to mention. I was like,
Stephanie Meyer.
yeah, I was like,
There.
at least Josh Peck got more lines than Roger Rules,
Yeah.
although he is a part of a very important scene, which is at, part of my favorite scene where he's just throwing up upon the news of a atomic detonation.
Oh yeah, where
But
he's hammered.
we'll go over that. Yeah, that was my scene, the victory, the whole victory speech.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I think, and I think the popular consensus is going to be that the Trinity test is probably most people's favorite scene in this movie, and deservingly so.
Well, it is very, very good.
I think, yeah, I mean, not necessarily between us, but I think if you
It's my
take
favorite
like
scene.
if
Florence
you get
Pugh's
like the
titty.
majority, I think the majority um decision, not decision, the majority vote would probably, the percentages would probably be highly in favor of the Trinity test, just because that scene alone is just, that's like peak Nolan
The
doing,
whole movie's built upon
yeah, and that's something that you would
the fact that
expect
no
from
CGI was made.
climax-esque. It
Yo,
has that
it
kind of
happens
energy
and you
to
still
it.
have an hour and 40 minutes, like an hour and 15
It's
minutes left.
halfway, it's the halfway mark of the movie,
Yeah.
and it is fantastic. But it's kind of like my Barry take, where most people like seasons 1 and 2 more, but I like seasons 3 and 4 more.
Mm.
It's
Most people like up
but
until the bomb drop, and then most people like after the bomb drop.
yeah, and also imagine a lot of like, I call it the TikTok addicted, not the TikTok addicted generation, but those types of people who just can't focus on anything, who've been like complaining about where are the bomb? I didn't get to see the bombs drop on Nagasaki and Hiroshima because they don't even know the name of the cities because they're stupid.
Mhm.
But
I actually like that you
uh,
did.
that's a good play. It's not even. It's not something I'll get to later, but that's more of a complaint for like the generation of people who go to the movies to see like uh Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness over something that's actually good or something.
I know. I mean, this movie just so happened to be one of my favorite movies I've ever seen, and the only reason I went to it was to see Florence Pugh's titties.
Yeah, that's the exact type of thinking that like the TikTok generation, as I said, would
We could
probably
talk
go
about how
for.
criminally underwhelming her performance was. I mean, it wasn't underwhelming. Sorry,
Underwhelming. I don't know that. That was
underwritten.
I mean it's
But I
a
mean,
small but very
important part of
important
Oppenheimer.
part of Oppenheimer's life.
Yes,
And it
I said
it definitely takes
a very dark turn.
I mean it's necessary in showing his mental deterioration throughout the movie and
What
her death her well I mean spoiler alert she fucking dies do some
kills
research
herself?
and she kills herself but there's also reports that she was
Killed.
killed because
She
Dr.
had
Oppenheimer
She had
because
an Epstein-like death. That's neither.
but on I don't know if you noticed this in the movie but Nolan does a really
He does a really good
definitely
job of
adds
not
the
really
possibility
showing
that she
you.
may have been killed. So
Yep.
it shows that she takes pills and puts her own head underwater, and then there's a very brief cut. You see a gloved hand
Yeah.
shoving her head underwater. It's very brief, but I think it's nice that
He left it up to
Nolan
interpretation.
included that little
Yeah.
detail in there.
But that's the only her death is the only time you really see uh Oppenheimer have like real emotion. Like when he's crying in the woods, like when he's absolutely just like at this point just losing it.
Yeah, but you see, I mean, I agree, but I also disagree. I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
you
the first
see,
time you see he's like shaking
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I mean, you see him having existential crises throughout
Yes, throughout
the
the last
rest of the
half.
movie.
Yeah.
Not quite as extreme as that,
No,
but
I mean they're
I
more
think it's a
deep
little bit unfair.
they're more of what towards the end of the movies, his existential crisis, they're more of like with the close-ups, with the hard stares, like you can tell and due to work with the sound effects and the sound design and the visuals like that he is having his breakdown. But this time and when he finally snaps back on Jason Clark, like there's the times where he actually like really uh demonstrates and acts those emotions beside of just letting like other things kind of cue what he's feeling.
Yeah, that's why I like the Kitty Oppenheimer back and forth with um Roger Robb. I think his name is Roger Robb,
Yeah.
Jason Clark's character. When it seems like she's getting talked down by him, and then
Oh yeah, 17 or
she snaps into action and just
18 years.
starts feeding him his own medicine, and it's so goddamn satisfying. That's the scene that I think is going to get Emily Blunt nominated because I was waiting for her. I'd heard a lot about her performance, and I was waiting for her to have her moment, and that was her moment, and
Yeah, because the first
it was
every
excellent.
other scene she was in, she was just stumbling around with like a whiskey bottle.
Yeah, it was like me every other night.
This was her that entire movie until she decided to put the whiskey bottle down and be like, yeah, I was a communist 17, 18 years ago, and then just went right back at it.
Hmm
It was great.
She had her moment, and it was awesome. There's also mostly, I mean, the exchange itself is awesome, just on that merit alone. Just that scene is satisfying without context, but the fact that's the first time that we see post post bomb somebody in the corner of Oppenheimer.
No. Before that,
Well,
you
I mean you have Groves.
Yeah, you have
There's
Grove
like I mean, he's
and you have David Krumholtz, where Krumholtz says
you
that
say?
Krumholtz is constantly just being like, yeah, like he's very loyal to the states and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Robbie.
Yeah. And then Groves, where he's like, no, I wouldn't clear him now, but he's like, I wouldn't clear any of them fuckers.
Yeah.
And then like gave him like a little head nod and like a half smile.
Yeah,
And then I would even
which gave me
say
little butterflies in my stomach.
I would even say when
But
Josh when Lawrence came in and kind of stood up for him towards the end.
but I guess I'm saying they separate. Well, yeah, and I get Josh Hartnett is probably my favorite character in the movie, other than Cillian Murphy. He's number two for me
Plus
because
Josh Hartnett's just
I
so hot.
he's incredibly attractive. It's not even fair.
Dude, he would make a really good
But he would, but you know what's even more attractive than just being attractive? Being attractive and delivering a phenomenal performance,
yeah.
especially when you haven't really been in the spotlight since like I mean, he was in Penny Dreadful in the mid
Fuck.
2010s. Obviously Black Hawk Down is probably what he's most known for.
No,
Um,
Lucky Number 11.
what?
Old shit that action movie.
Lucky number seven.
11.
Slevin?
Yep.
What the fuck are you talking
His
about?
character's name is Slevin.
Okay. In what movie?
Lucky Number 11. 2006 with Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley, Stanley Tucci.
Okay, that only helps my point. That's
So
2007.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
the one he's probably most known for. That's
I
his
would no, I would say he's most known for Black Hawk Down.
okay.
But beyond that, probably Penny Dreadful.
Was he was in the
He
Wrath of Man, wasn't he?
yeah, he was. He was also in one of my favorite vampire movies ever, 30 Days of Night, which is also criminally underrated.
Oh, he was in Sin City.
One?
Yeah, the 2005.
Yeah.
He was the man.
I like this like we had the whole Renaissance with Brendan Fraser. I feel like we're
Uh,
having a heart renaissance. Heart renaissance. We'll call it a heart renaissance.
he looks so like you look at him and like the
It is. I think this is going to be the fangirling over Josh Hartnett section because it's not fair. Just
dude
how attractive he still is. What he's got to be near 50 now, right?
yeah, like dude, he looks
He's a very handsome man.
God, he's so hot, man. He's so hot. And
Yeah, but more to my
I think what
but to
makes
my
him
the point I
hot,
was
I
making
think is like
before.
his slick back light brown hair and the glasses. I think without the glasses he's not as hot, but I think the nerd like the doctor looking glasses I think make him even hotter.
Yeah, there's nothing hotter than an attractive person
Nerd like
with knowledge as a
yeah,
weapon, with
yes.
knowledge at hand,
Oh God. You know how many
and
times I've
just like
seen
and
stupid hot people?
yeah,
Tired.
but that's when it comes to actors and actresses. If you're a
Tired
really
of gossip.
attractive actor or actress, awesome. But what's really hot is if you're an attractive actor and actress and you are an incredible performer.
Like Ryan Gosling, don't get me wrong. Margot Robbie, don't get me wrong. You guys are so hot, but you guys are the bimbo hot.
But they're also incredible performers.
Yes. But
You
they're
see with
mostly
Margot Robbie and I, Tanya,
yeah.
not necessarily, I mean, they don't make her look hot,
No, but
but
Babylon.
yeah, Babylon, um, an R-rated movie, 3 hour long movie. Um, I think that movie could take notes from this movie. I think that movie was just it was just trying to be extreme. There
Mhm.
wasn't a whole lot of nuance to that, even if the acting was awesome. But yeah, I like when you take an attractive actor and you make them look unattractive.
and very
and
smart.
then make people watch them act phenomenally.
Christian Bale in Ford versus Ferrari.
Boom. We got Charlize Theron in Monster.
Yep.
I'd put um
But here's another thing, right? With this,
Christian Bale in The Mechanist.
yep, I'm a sucker for these like science movies.
Yeah.
And watching the first half of this movie, it gave me the feels. It gave me vibes of another. I don't. It's not a Nolan movie, but another movie that I love dearly. Two of them actually. The Imitation Game
Mm.
and A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, I love Beautiful Mind. I don't necessarily love the Imitation Game.
I
It
did.
is it is ridiculously inaccurate historically. But
Truths, but
I mean, I'm not here to get an Imitation Game argument, but I do love A Beautiful
okay. Then what
Mind.
are you gonna be like? Imitation Game or The Woman King?
Oh, Imitation Game all day long.
Okay.
That's the guy. That's Lawrence of Arabia compared to a fucking the woman thing.
All right.
That
Well,
is a travesty.
we can continue
But
now.
yeah, thinking about attractive actors that that are not made to look attractive. There's one that I'm thinking of on the tip of my tongue. Um, I guess. Oh, right, of course, Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Because I mean, how can you not be attracted to Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Even if you're not attracted to his looks, just his pure humility alone.
Um.
Ana de Armas in Blonde. Um,
No. No. Because she is hot already, and she can act.
they did not make her look particularly attractive in the latter half of that movie.
In the latter half, when she was
Throwing up into toilets, you know.
sucking dick,
Yeah, I love
she
how they wanted
poking.
the Kennedy estate to like sue the movie.
Mhm.
They didn't name him. I don't think you know how the legal system works or
Yeah.
how suing works for that
They
matter.
didn't name him, but they made him look like a pimp.
He didn't look like John F. Kennedy. He didn't sound like John F. Kennedy either.
No.
So I don't know what exactly you could sue for.
You just kind of
But
knew.
I'm not here to argue the legal boundaries of blonde because it's stupid.
Yeah.
And also that debate's not coming up for a couple weeks now. But it's coming.
Eventually, it'll come around the same time this diss track hits.
It'll come before that fucking diss track hits. That's some snags in the road.
Mm.
I might have to come up with a completely new beat. But this is the price of perfection.
It is.
And I'm fine with that.
God, this movie is just so fucking good. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's
Tom
just.
Hardy in
Oh, that would have been sick. Tom Hardy in this movie would have been unreal.
and I'm not, yeah, I mean all the people that Nolan got in this movie, I'm surprised Tom Hardy wasn't one of them, considering he got 90% of the actors working ever.
Yeah.
You didn't think Tom
The
Hardy
only
would have?
two
Tom
actors,
Hardy would have. Yeah, I
the only
think
two actors he wasn't able to get besides Tom Hardy was Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling because they were currently filming another movie. He got everybody else.
yeah,
That's why Barbie's
um,
filled with just extras.
yeah. Um, shit.
Oh, and Drake
What
Bell,
were we talking about right before that? My
Josh
train of
Hartnett,
thought just kept going.
Josh
Huh?
Hartnett.
No. That's way before. That's getting out of the rabbit hole. I want
Uh,
to go back slightly, like 10 seconds.
what were we talking about?
I don't know. There was a we were talking about blonde, and then we were talking about something after that.
Oh, her throwing.
Right?
Robert JFK getting his head sucked.
No, that's
His
still
head sucked.
blonde.
Yeah, and
No, that's
suing.
still blonde. It was after blonde. Okay, suing, but I think it was after suing.
No, because it just stopped there.
No, it didn't.
Then I said,
There's
"Well,
something
God,
there.
this movie's so fucking good."
No.
Yeah,
You're this movie. What are you referring to Oppenheimer, or are you being sarcastic to
No,
Blonde?
Oppenheimer.
I actually think there's a lot of similarities between this and Blonde. One in particular, the editor.
Yes, she
I don't know
did.
if you've
She
noticed just how well this film was edited when you were watching it. I'm sure you did.
yes,
Are you aware
she's
of
Nolan's guy.
Jennifer Lane?
Yeah, she did Tenet. She
She
did
did Tenet. She
this.
did
She did Imitation Game. She did.
Marriage Story.
Yep, she did
She
Marriage.
she's one of the most in-demand editors working right now.
And it's why I have to give her a lot of props because can you imagine how difficult it would be to edit Tenet?
I can't even imagine. I know she did
You know how difficult it is to
Manchester. She
edit.
did
She
Manchester
did
by the Sea
Manchester
as
by the Sea.
well.
You know how
Yeah.
difficult it is to edit the Batman short film
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
and now do Tenet.
Yeah, I can't even imagine trying to time up something in my ass with the door closing.
Yeah.
We're fucked. We're gonna get there though. I think she did Hereditary too. You know what else she did? Blonde.
She did do Blonde.
I mean, I think you were critical of the editing in Blonde. Or were you?
It wasn't the
'Cause I
editing.
actually thought it was really good. Along with the cinematography, the score,
It
some of the
wasn't the
directing
editing.
choices, obviously the acting,
The big
and
editing.
the ballsiness of it in general.
The big editing part was the baby, but that's not. We'll get to that shit later. We're not doing that
Maybe
today.
it's just because I've been desensitized and I just don't. Maybe it's because when I went to the Bugs Life tree in Disney World, I became desensitized to everything at that point.
You did.
I guess I did. I guess everybody else is just a pussy.
Jennifer Lane. She
Jennifer Lane is
also
an
did.
absolutely
She was an
her
additional.
and Joe
She was
Walker
an,
right now, I think, are the most in-demand editors. Joe Walker did Dune Part One
she
and
was
Blade
an
Runner
she was an
2049.
additional editor on Blonde. Same
Yep.
with Don't Worry, Darling, Judas and the Black Messiah, Midsummer, The Lovely Bones, uh, Oppenheimer, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Tenet, Marriage Story, Hereditary, Paper
Long story short,
Towns.
she's really good.
Yeah,
And maybe one day we'll get her to edit one of our films.
yeah. This pirate epic. If
Yeah.
anyone can fucking edit it, she can.
Yep.
If anyone can take some fucked up uh brain, not in a bad way, and make it to their vision, it's her. Imagine, dude, every 6 seconds in Tenet, Christopher Nolan being like, I need this sequence exactly like this inserted right in the middle of what you're editing right now.
My generally
And then flip
kind
it,
of
reverse it, and put it upside down and make it tie into the end of the movie. And you're like, how the
yeah, like
fuck?
that one rap song. Put up, flip it, and reverse it. And when you fit the flame, yeah. What was
Yeah,
that
that
song?
is Tenet. That is the song
Pretty
version.
much. I yeah, if you asked me to Jesus, try saying that. Edit Tenet
Mm-hmm.
right now in my semi-buzz state, I would probably have an epileptic seizure. I'd have a seizure before I even attempted editing, just attempting to understand the broad
I
strokes
have a
of
seizure when I get a
the
phone call that says,
story.
"Hey, this is Christopher Nolan. I want you to edit my movie." I'd fucking have a
Yeah, I mean that would probably be enough for me. I'd have to swear off alcohol for a few months.
yeah,
But hell, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, which is why I mean I think my two greatest attributes are being um my ability to put things off to the last minute and also being a perfectionist.
mm-hmm.
It it forms into a beautiful
A perfection
union of
perfectionist.
getting work done quickly and doing it and also not doing it in a lazy fashion.
A
Can you
perfectionist
imagine if I
my
did things
creative
over
endeavor.
a length of time that wasn't procrastinating
Well, that's what I'm saying.
while keeping my perfectionist title?
I would I would feel this. I feel the same way about me, but it's only in my creative endeavors where I would say I'd be a perfectionist.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I had like a math test, a math exam tomorrow, I would have absolutely no issue just going like this and pretending I'm focusing and looking over to my left and copying the entire exam off of whoever left of me.
Yeah.
You're looking at that is a definition of my entire mathematic high school and college career, just going like this.
Hmm. Yep.
Y equals mx plus what?
Y. Yep. MX plus B.
Y equals mx plus z. That's gonna be my rap name.
Hmm. Y equals MX plus Z.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. I don't know. That or Ziggy Cheese. Ziggy Cheese is kind of a long running one though. But
Ziggy cheese.
yeah, that's another. But this is another example of a rabbit hole that I think we went down a little bit too far, where we can't come out exactly.
I can come out exactly where I need to come out with this. There is
Well,
no.
I actually do. Well, I knew where I was going to come.
Oh.
I knew where I was going to come out of the closet. Um,
Oh.
all right.
There's no chance this movie doesn't win multiple Oscars.
Oh yeah.
And this is why it goes into what I originally was saying with the possibility of Dune being delayed until next year. Was look, don't get me wrong. I want Dune to win as many Oscars as possible. I want every movie to win as many Oscars as possible. And
I want
with
Napoleon to win some Oscars too.
yeah, and with
And fuck it, Last Voyage of the Demeter. Make it
yeah,
happen.
exactly. And with Dune being hyped to be so fucking good, with this movie now, yes, it would be unbelievable to see these two duke it out at the Oscars. But I would like to see this movie clean up, and then I would like to see Dune clean up.
Well, I think you might be seeing this movie duke it out with Barbie at the Oscars.
I don't think so. Again, I can't judge. I
I
can't
mean,
say.
you got production
You have to see
design,
Barbie first.
visual
That was
effects.
yeah.
I think, well, I mean, you see this. I haven't seen Barbie yet. From what I've heard, it's um not the best written movie, especially for Greta Gerwig. But
Yeah, I'll have to
I
see it.
mean, the production design is phenomenal. The acting is great. All that. So it'll probably get like the visual, best visuals nominations, obviously production design, all that stuff. But I think when you look at the deeper levels, I think Oppenheimer it clears.
Mhm.
But I do have to see Barbie first before I say anything exactly. But I'm 90%, I'm like 90% sure, 95% sure that this is going to leave a longer impact on me
Mhm.
than the Barbie movie will. And I'm not shitting on the Barbie movie. I'm looking forward to seeing the Barbie movie.
I am too. I think I might get tickets right now to see it. This morning
I really
because it's what Friday, July 28th, 1:20 a.m. I could go right now and see it at 10 o'clock in about 9 hours.
there you go.
And there's only two other people in the theater.
Perfect. I'm sure they'll both be donning pink.
Yeah, I might as well.
Now here's the question.
Correct.
How long have we been recording this for?
11 or 10:30.
10:30. Okay. So we're coming up on
3 hours.
3 hours.
We're coming up on the fucking length of Oppenheimer.
Yeah, not quite the length of The Way of Water though. My God.
I don't think it's actually that far off.
Isn't it like 320 something? 315 maybe? I don't know.
3:12.
It,
Yeah, it's all
I
right.
think Oppenheimer deserved its runtime. I don't think The Way of Water deserved its runtime.
No.
But I mean, what do I know? It made fucking over $2 billion. So and I'm sitting here on my fucking shitty laptop.
This movie, man.
I have so many other things
Apparently, to people,
to
this
say, but I don't know if I want this to be a 5 hour episode.
that's what I'm saying.
I might just split this into two.
A lot of people have been saying this movie fucks harder on the second watch.
Oh, we'll find out this week.
Yeah, I will find out Sunday night.
We
Uh,
both will.
and then a ridiculous achievement in filmmaking, an absurdly immersive, heart-pounding experience. Cillian Murphy's a fucking stud, and RDJ will be a front runner for best supporting actor. Ludwig Göransson put everything he had into that score, coupled with a sound design that made me feel like I took a bomb to the chest.
Very heroic. So those are all of your head notes.
Those are.
I think we should save those for next episode. I think it warrants more discussion.
I think it does. I think we'll do an
I
entire.
don't think it deserves just us blurting out our headlines. I think this deserves a part two. Oppenheimer part two.
Yeah,
The World War III story.
dude, I might have to take
So
a.
I have a
I might have
bunch
to
of
take a piece of paper and a pen into the fucking IMAX 70 millimeter screen front row on Sunday night.
yeah, this is going to have to be extended into next week's episode because there's too many things that I have to say that I don't just want to squeeze into 5 minutes because I think the film deserves more than that.
Yeah,
So, I mean, also this benefits us. We get to we get to juice the content for another week,
you do.
especially since we skipped last week due to realms.
Two Terrells, which
A valid excuse. I had to relocate my castle.
it looks good.
I'm glad, but I have a bunch of points that I will save for next week.
Yep. I will be taking more
Um,
notes and
yeah,
dive deeper into the character acting and the themes. I mean, I could already tell you the themes now, but I'll do a deeper dive into the deeper meaning of a lot of the technical stuff. Why scenes I feel like were shot this way compared to a different way, that kind of stuff.
yeah, I got every note that I have on Oppenheimer, I didn't use. So I'm going to use all of those next week.
Oh boy.
We also have the unused topics from today, which include Woman in Black investigative journalism
Yep.
and we talked about Sound of Freedom a bit, but
There's not really much I could go on to before getting into a real political uh stance
I
taking.
don't remember. Did you watch Sound of Freedom?
No.
No, I didn't. I haven't watched it either.
But what I was the I can end it with this because the Sound of Freedom point was very, very short. And it makes you think. It's a thinking thing with um with the current landscape of politics now, with all of the names coming out that were on the Epstein Island list and all of that shit.
God, was I on it? Please
Yes,
say no. God damn it.
but the reason I brought this thing up was Sound of Freedom was made 5 years ago. Disney bought that movie company, and then after the movie was made, and shelved the movie because they didn't want this movie coming out. So what they did was Disney and Bob Iger bought this movie company that created Sound of Freedom, shelved the movie. The creators of Sound of Freedom went to court, won their court case, won their movie right back, and released it as an independent.
Imagine having a fight over the rights of your own film and having that battle last 5 years to a guy named Bob Iger.
Yep. So it's why did Disney buy the movie company to shelve this movie?
I think I know why.
I could tell you. I mean, I could tell you why. Is
Bob
because
Iger was on the list.
people involved are on that list.
I mean, I don't understand why else you would want to shelve it.
You have people up there who are on this list, and you know what's crazy?
Those are the people who would be on that list too.
Now here's the whole list, right? Like Trump's on the list, but he never went to the island. He's only on the list because he used like one of Epstein's private planes to get to from Miami to New York. But you know who's on that list? That
Biden?
Tom Hanks.
Oh no. Did he
Tom
go to the island?
Tom Hanks' name's on that list.
Did he go to the island?
I don't know.
Can we confirm that? We have to get Tom Hanks on the podcast.
There's also rumors Tom Hanks is dead.
Way to drop that fucking bomb. Holy shit, Oppenheimer.
It's
You
the hoax,
dropped that shit.
those hoax ones that Tom Hanks is actually been dead for a while, and
Oh, okay. Call me Nagasaki because you just dropped a bomb on me.
and this isn't real Tom Hanks. And I'm like, I don't know. Tom Hanks just was in uh
Man called
Ast-
Otto.
Asteroid City and A Man Called Otto. But when did A Man Called Otto? When was that movie filmed? Before the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, ignore this article that I saw about Tom Hanks striking.
Is he dead? Is he actually
Maybe
striking?
either that or you
Is he
need to stop
striking out on
getting.
life?
Maybe you struck out on life, or maybe you need to stop getting your news from BuzzFeed.
I know. Look, I was just
Fuck that, dude.
the other shit was
Tom
real.
Hanks is dead.
The
You know what
name
I haven't heard any updates on? Jamie Foxx being in like
he's alive.
critical condition.
He's alive. He put an Instagram video out.
He's okay.
Yeah, he put an
Jamie
Instagram.
Foxx with two X's is okay.
Yes,
Oh, thank God.
he put an Instagram video out.
I don't really go on Instagram all that much.
He put an Instagram, a Twitter
So I
video.
don't
He put a whole thing out thanking everybody for the support and stuff like that. Then got real emotional, said he didn't want to talk about the situation he had because another speculation. Maybe he didn't really have Maybe he didn't really have a condition. Maybe somebody did this to him
Bob Iger.
because maybe their name's on the list.
Bob Iger.
I'll tell
Fucking
you,
1v1 me in
fucking
a
listen to
fucking
this
pickup
shit, Bob.
basketball game. You won't do it because you're too
Listen to
much of
this
a
shit,
bitch.
Bob Iger. You don't fucking threaten me. You don't scare me. You don't make us nervous. We'll take you and your fucking stupid T-lizard in a 2v2 basketball game.
Yeah, when you transform into a reptilian creature.
You have to have Andrew
I'm gonna
Garfield.
go. I'll go between your legs. I don't give a shit. I'll go between my legs. I'll cross your ass over. I'll break your reptilian ankles, bitch.
Yeah, and I'll fucking sip my tea like your stupid green lizard.
Yeah, you might have the best lawyers in the world, but I don't think they're immune to getting beat up.
Yeah, but I got the I got the power of the internet to go when I fucking cross you up on the courts.
Yeah, I got the power of these sharp fucking knuckles right here. These sharp knuckles right here. They're
Mm,
really sharp. They're actually very sharp. Anyone that knows me can attest to that,
mm.
especially Sean. He
Do we
told me
have
to punch him once and it didn't go well for him.
do we have anything else before we wrap up the
Yes, we do.
part one prelude?
Yeah, we do have
Oh yes, we do.
we have a minute movie news update, which has to happen this week because I updated it from last week to make sense for this week, and it will not make sense next week.
Okay.
I cannot continue to put this one off. We are going to throw Woman in Black investigative journalism to next week. We'll probably hit that in one of the first few segments because it's really not as exciting as I was hoping it would be. That won't take very long. Um, and then I have Butterfly Effect in here. I think we talked about a segment called Butterfly Effect. I think it was something along the lines of we discuss how if something different happened with a movie, how that would like change the landscape of the world or something.
Mm.
So, but I'll figure that out at a later date. But we covered.
If Oppenheimer never dropped the
I
bomb.
actually didn't cover anything that I had planned to talk about with Oppenheimer. I will cover that next week. We covered the actor strikes and the writer strikes. Sound of Freedom, we didn't really have much to say on that. I think we said most of what we wanted to say. So I guess all that's left is the minute movie news update, which will take longer than a minute.
Perfect.
It might even take 2 minutes. All right. I just want to give it a quick look through to make sure I didn't make any typos because I wrote this right before I hopped on here.
Wonderful.
So just
Oh yes.
you don't even need to read through it like a complete grocery list, just like a very quick list of something or even a note.
Um. Well, let me find a note. That's not information that I don't want getting out there. Okay. Ghosted, the movie with Ana de Armas and um Chris Evans. The story started off good. Not sure about the twist spy shit. The bounty hunters killing themselves was very, very funny. The bus scene CGI was extremely heavy, kind of threw me off. Knew Ana de Armas was going to come and save him towards the end. An all right fight scene. God, Ana de Armas is so beautiful. And the cameos from Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, John Cho, and Ryan Reynolds, chef's kiss. Overall, movie fart.
Overall movie fart.
Yep, the movie was a fart.
What does that mean?
Um, it
Bad?
yes,
It's not how you described it.
fart.
You said fart, but you described it with mostly positive-esque things.
No, I don't think these were very positive.
Chef's kiss.
The cameos, chef's kiss, an all right fight scene, very predictable. Knew she was going to come and save him. Bus scene, very CGI heavy. The one bounty hunter's part was funny. Wasn't excited about the spy twist. And the story started off good, but then that was it. So overall, the movie
Okay,
is
that gives me more of an impression of meh.
yeah, goes.
Not really fart. That gives me an impression of meh.
I think it's a what's my review? Edit my review.
Serviceable.
55 out of 100.
Oh, average.
Yeah, it's a fart. Just a.
Okay, but I wouldn't say
What would you
is
say?
equivalent to
Say a
fart.
fart's like a 30.
I'd
Like
say a fart's like a fucking 10, 20, that range. Fart is bad. Fart is bad.
a meh.
What you described is
A
meh.
meh.
What you described is like in a very
And
monotone voice.
let's say
Meh.
this. It is a generic Apple Plus action movie.
Yeah,
Not good. Not horrendous.
meh.
Watchable. Meh.
So meh.
Meh.
All right. So we will leave the letterboxd review to meh,
Meh.
and that's what it is.
Yep. 55 out of 100. Meh.
Meh. All right. So we'll move on to the minute movie news update to conclude this episode. What is that?
Brought to you by Yellowstone Bourbon.
Is that
No,
Harrison Ford's brand?
no, it is not.
Doesn't Harrison Ford have a brand, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Harrison Ford does not have a brand of bourbon. I don't think.
Yeah. Also, been I've been ready for the update for like the last 5 minutes, but
Okay, perfect. Then I'm
I
ready to
just
go.
wanted to hear the one note.
Okay.
So this is our ability to successfully juice content for minutes or hours on end into one word. Me.
Yeah.
That's what that entire segment
Well,
was.
we're gonna have to add something into next week too before we get to these topics we pushed off.
Well, there will be more added
Oh
in
yeah,
for
we'll have to
sure.
talk about your
But I mean,
suggestion.
at the same time, the Oppenheimer content will generate so many rabbit holes and subtopics that it's going to last.
3 hours.
It's going to be well over the amount of time for just the Oppenheimer topics. But I mean, enough's going to happen in the next week that
Oh
we'll
yeah.
have news. All right, so we start this out with a little bit of hockey smelling salts because it's been about 3 hours I need a new perspective. And I discovered they're actually both still very alive.
Wonderful. That's
I
good.
did not. I figured out how to spin them properly. Hmm.
Mm.
Jesus Christ. That is as close to cocaine as you can get without getting cocaine. I don't know how smelling salts are legal. That shit is remarkable. Anyway, all
Anyway,
right. So we're gonna start the minute movie news update if you're okay with that.
go for it.
All right, here we go. Actually, I have to do one test run with my mouth this close to the mic. Just tell me if it sounds good.
You sound good.
Sound good? All right, let's do it. All right, this is your Minute Movie News Update, which is being rebranded to Minute Movie. Wait, no. Minute Movie Update. We're doing this to save time. We are removing the news section. Yet this update has already cost us about 15 seconds of content. So we're going to move on. We live in a capitalist country here in the United States. And what could define capitalism more than capitalizing on the victims, I'm sorry, loyal consumers that frequent your establishments on a daily basis? AMC Theaters is ditching plans to charge more money for better theater seats. Do you forgive them now? I don't. Neither do you. Shall we move on? Oh, Samuel L. Jackson reveals his most underrated movie. Spoiler alert, it is not 2012's Madagascar ripoff, Welcome to Zambezia. Barbie v. Oppenheimer box office frontrunner has emerged. Barbie has hauled in nearly 500 million worldwide in its first week, while Oppenheimer has taken home a hefty 200 million worldwide in just 5 days. This proves the theatrical experience may not be as dead as we thought. As Barbenheimer continues to sweep the nation, two demographics in particular look to capitalize on the massive double feature. Those demographics being the professional crooner community and Sigma males, respectively. No doubt we will see countless professional crooners in seats watching Oppenheimer puffing on their proverbial cigars and tricking other crooners into thinking they are in fact donning a real fedora on their heads. And plenty of girlfriends will be looking to the seats next to them in the theatrical. Pardon me, I have to go over that one more time. I don't think I've ever seen a topic like this before. Not in the 50s, anyway. And plenty of girlfriends will be looking to the seats next to them in the theaters, confused whilst watching Barbie, wondering why every time Ryan Gosling appears on screen, their boyfriend utters the words, God, he's literally me. It's also worth noting the Barbie doll was originally created in Japan and would become the first item that Japan distributed in the US. This came about a decade and a half after the US distributed Atom dolls in mainland Japan. A father and son doll duo by the names of Fat Man and Little Boy, respectively. Fat Man and Little Boy would go on to make quite a splash overseas with the Japanese, and they didn't want war no more. That concludes this week's Minute Movie Updates. I am a Barbie girl in a fat man's world. And we are going to actually conclude this segment with a fun fact of the day. A study shows that 72% of Twitter users believe that J in J. Robert Oppenheimer's name in fact stands for Japan. The other 28% think it stands for Jew. God, what an intellectually stimulating group of individuals that make up our Twitterverse. And with that, God bless, good night, drive home safely.
Have a good night. Have a good week at the box office.
And continue to go see movies in theaters. And if you're not good at drunk driving, don't do it. And if you are, be discreet. Good night.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but I
Well,
still don't have a a good. I need a good conclusion for it.
Good
I accidentally
afternoon,
wrote
good evening, and good night.
yeah, I accidentally wrote the conclusion out of order. The Twitter the Jay and Robert being Japan and Jew was supposed to be second to last, and then it was supposed to conclude with the Barbie girl in a fat man's world. I don't know how those got mixed up, but
I'm a
god
Barbie.
damn it. It is what it is, I guess.
That was very funny.
This is only the second minute movie update that we've had. It'll only get cleaner in the future.
Wonderful. Well, on that note, we'll have a lot more to discuss next week.
Oppenheimer 2 comes next
Go
week.
go watch Oppenheimer, go watch Barbie, go watch I don't know what else is out. Uh
Literally,
Literally
nothing.
everything. Indiana Jones,
Just
Dial of Destiny,
don't watch that.
Sound of Freedom, maybe.
Yeah, do watch that.
Uh Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yes, do watch that.
Go watch all these movies. Look, movie theaters are back, right? Let's do our parts and go
Support your local theaters.
support your local.
Because I can speak from experience in saying you cannot get the experience of watching Oppenheimer at home that you get in the movie theater. It's impossible.
It is.
Or really any movie for that matter.
So look, the movie theaters, and people make fun of me, but the movie theaters, my wife is one of the people that makes fun of me. Movie theater is my happy place. I can go at any point alone and just enjoy the 2 hours, 3 hours of alone time and just enjoy a film.
Mhm.
Just it's my happy place. It's my go-to spot. So if you're afraid of going to the movie theaters alone, you're not alone. We're
Look
here.
at that tagline right there. Yeah. And if you go to the movie theaters, more people go to the movie theaters. It encourages more movies to get released in the movie theaters. You're more likely to come across something that tickles your fancy. So support your movie theaters.
Or and yeah, and look,
Support movies.
go to the
Support
movie
the good
theater
movies.
go to the movie theater early in the day, get one ticket, and then kind of do what we all used to do back in the day is like hide in the bathroom and then sneak into another theater.
Be the unemployed friend at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally me. I am Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be Josh Hartnett though.
I want to be in Josh Hartnett though.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, pause.
I'll resume.